And we're online.
All right. Welcome to the BMFcast.
Whoa.
You're more jovial than ever.
Hello.
Hi.
All right. I'm jacked up. I am excited. I have
Guys.
drop mix in my life and
Drop that mix on you.
other things.
I would like you all to know that the stream is healthy.
All right.
You are usually our stream healthiness
Health.
advisor.
I'm doing
our
that.
stream health advisor.
I'm working on that.
Whoop. Almost fucked it up there.
Yeah.
How'd you almost fuck it up?
I had my volume up on my laptop.
Oh, we almost heard some laptop noise.
We did.
Hey, good. BJ's here.
Yeah. I am.
in the
I'm
chat.
right here.
Now I'll get some water.
What the fuck are you doing? We've been...
Your mom's in jail.
Guess I should send a tweet. There it goes.
Yeah, you like that hot action, don't you?
I enjoy hot action.
I am in a good mood.
Yeah,
Drop mix made me happy.
it seems to.
The Last Dragon made me happy.
It should have.
It's been a happy day.
My properly draining shower and sink make me happy.
Those are good things as
Yeah.
well.
I feel like I did the right thing by...
Oh no, the BJs are talking. The singularity has been reached. Oh, good. Harlow's here.
Aloha,
Low.
Harlow.
Harlow.
Harlow. Harlow. Harlow. Harlow. Harlow.
Hello.
Sorry about those sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're lucky I didn't throw something.
Lo siento, bitches. Whoa.
What?
I said lo siento, bitches.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I need to speak up.
You do.
Harlow, you're probably not going to want to listen to this episode.
Why not?
I don't think he's going to be very happy with us.
Why not?
I'm just joshing him.
Hey, there's the live stream. Wow, we
Hey.
have another live stream from 6 days ago. Who knew?
Oh, what?
Say what? Oh man, you even got the long view,
The long
the
view?
wide view. You didn't just break it up into the forest right off the bat.
Oh, no, I got we worked this shit out.
He showed you all of it.
I did. I
Sure
learned.
enough.
I learned all the things. I'm running the board. I got this. I got this.
You do.
Shit, we're not recording.
Did you? So you didn't record his intro?
Kidding. We're recording.
Oh, good.
I'm smart. I can.
Yeah, it was particularly sassy at the end, so I'm glad that you caught that take.
Yeah. Sure enough.
So,
Hey, chat. Can you hear all our mics?
Do we sound good?
How do we
make
sound?
your ears
How does the
Feel
stream
like-
look?
they're being made sweet love to?
hey,
Hey.
You.
get into my car.
Are you getting a text?
Oh, bow, bow, bow. Taking it back to 1985 for you guys.
Thanks.
Actually, that might have been 86. I can't remember.
Billy. Yeah.
I love that Billy Ocean went from like Caribbean Queen, which is just a classy love song, to get out of my dreams, get into my car.
Sure.
As well as when the going gets tough, the tough get going.
From the Jewel of the Nile
Yep.
soundtrack.
That was 85, right?
Yeah, because Romancing the Stone was 84.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, they struck while the iron was hot.
Oh, yeah.
On that one.
They're
man.
like, get these guys back together.
Didn't work out.
Yeah.
Man. So should we podcast?
I think we probably should, because everything seems to be working, and we should strike while the iron's hot.
There we go. Just like the producers of Jewel of the Nile.
Yeah, they're like, Man. Yes. So,
Are you going to do the introductory stuff?
I guess I will, yeah.
You're in the chair.
Yeah,
Yep.
I guess I should.
In the hot seat.
I guess I should introduce the podcast.
Man.
All right, welcome to the podcast.
All right.
One of our dogs is a robot dog.
So I guess we will do this now.
Make all this paper noise real quick.
Yeah,
and
do
then-
that. Just make some paper noise. Hold that shit up. Put it in your pocket.
Paper
Was this
money.
episode 420?
Yes.
Oh, blaze it!
Blaze it.
Boy, let me go dig out a couple nugs
Wait, what?
and fire them up.
Yeah,
You're going to
so-
eat nugs on the podcast?
Some dank
Yes.
nugs.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Look,
I've been sitting in this chair a while. I got some dank nugs over here.
we got some bongs over here, right?
we
That's what
should
these
turn
are.
at least one of these into a bong, yes.
Not mine.
Oh, fine.
I think mine is still in the kitchen.
Captain Purity. Mr. Straight Edge.
Yeah, that's me. The guy who did the God of War and bourbon stream
Yeah, at noon.
this week. Yeah. Jen came up. She's like, "Why is the jigger in the drain?"
Right?
And I'm like,
I threw it in there because I don't
I
fucking need
was
it
like-
anymore.
one of the dogs must have
Yeah.
thrown it in there.
I was like, "You don't own me.
Shut up.
Just because I'm married, you doesn't mean you get to tell me what to do."
Don't you judge me.
I'm the God of War, and you're my dead wife.
Yeah. She's just like, "So you were just sitting here drinking without me?" And I was like,
Yes.
"I was playing video games."
Vacation?
She's
Oh,
like-
that makes it better.
She's like, "So you were playing video games and drinking old fashions without me?" And I was like,
It is your vacation
"I was
week.
like, you were at work.
Yeah.
What was else?
What was I supposed
What was I gonna do? There was bourbon. to be
You
drunk.
were at work. I was here. The bourbon was here.
Yeah.
It just jumped
it-
into my mouth.
It helps
poured
me
itself-
focus.
Yeah.
Helps me.
When I'm murdering Drog.
Play the video games. Bourbon
Yeah.
it up.
Just stop.
Yep.
Why are you yelling at me?
I'm not yelling.
You want me to draw you a bath?
Yeah.
Look,
Well,
there's a bath.
she just did like the whole. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I
like,
should be
come on.
happy for you.
You're like, I drank
Enjoying
for
it
you.
too.
Yeah. I'm like, you told me to stay home, do whatever I want. So
I drank.
That was what you wanted to do. You're living your best life.
you're lucky I wore pants.
Now
all
I'm
right?
fun, Mackie.
Oh, you put pants on?
I did
Wow.
Why?
short pants. It wasn't like just. I got a leather couch.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to sit nude on a leather
Yeah.
couch. That's
Well, just sit there in your
Yeah.
boxer shorts.
Yeah. Let's get some boxers.
no.
All right. Just wrap a towel around you.
No.
Doesn't have to be wet.
Oh, okay.
Just a
So,
towel.
oh, you
like-
meant a dry towel?
Yeah, dry
Okay,
towel.
yeah.
No, I don't mean like
don't
go
want-
take a shower and just sit around in the towel all
Well,
day.
yeah, but
That's bad.
Don't knock
I
that.
just
You got to change out the towel. You get a little moldy.
No.
there was the Saturday of burnout where I just played for like
Uh-huh.
9 straight hours. I just wore a bathrobe that day.
That's the best.
I was like cooking though. Like it was so warm that I was like, why am I sweating? The fuck's wrong? And then I realized I'm wearing this giant bathrobe.
yeah, you're
I'm
fucking
like-
Tony Soprano.
I'm like,
over
this
there.
is
You need to change into the silky bathrobe.
Yeah.
this is comfortable as shit.
Yeah.
But I'm sweating.
Hot.
Yeah. So I had to take a cold shower and then I came out and put the bathrobe back on and played more burnout.
Good choice. Good choice.
Oh man.
Now we got new people in the chat.
Oh,
A lot of new people.
We got a wizard.
Yeah.
Jeez, we
and
do
a Brenton.
we do a famous movie and people
We were like, we
right?
should listen to that podcast. We should probably do it. We should probably start it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
let's
guess
do
people
it.
are here to
It is
listen to us.
9:45.
Did we start? We didn't start.
No, we never started.
Okay.
I said we probably should, and then we were
then we
deciding that
talked
you were
about-
going to do the
Right.
And then I said,
introductory
BMFcast.
stuff. Yeah,
BMFcast.
and then I was
Yeah.
talking about the stream and
Right.
drinking.
Yeah.
And
Sure. Okay. Well, let me do this thing.
Looked like you were just about to go.
yeah, you look like you can do Mr. Burns or something.
No, I know how to do this. I do another podcast where I have to clap on the weekends. you're gonna do it. All right, everyone. Hey, welcome to the BMFcast.
welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey.
Yes. Ah, BMFcast.
Woo!
Episode 420.
That's the weed number.
It is the weed number.
Oh, is it?
Hashtag blaze it.
Right.
I thought that was 69.
No. Oh, you're right. Yeah, 69
Okay.
is the weed number.
Okay.
420 is the
It's
sexy thing
the
where you do
military code for murder.
Yes.
you do a
yes.
you do a 360 and then you go a little more, and then you sex.
Right, and then the sex. Anyway, so I'm Chuck.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
And I'm Chuck.
This is the order is so wrong.
We are
Harlow,
absent to
come
Harlow this
back.
week because
Harlow's
Harlow
out.
is off in Pinball Paradise.
He is. He's vacationing in the Midwest, and so let me tell you about what we do here each and every week on the BMFcast. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
Okay.
Please tell me.
Each week on the BMFcast, we watch ourselves what some people would call a bad movie.
A quote unquote bad movie.
Right, and then we come in here and talk about it for the first half of the podcast.
That's correct.
Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies, we give them 1 to 5 jocks, as in robot jocks.
Robot Jocks!
Robot Jocks.
Do you know how much I enjoy Robot Jocks?
5 jocks.
Correct.
Okay. But sometimes a movie is bad.
Yes.
A bad movie, and
As
you
in
should stay away
away.
from it.
Correct.
We give those movies 1 to 5 bags, as in trash bags.
Right.
Just
Yes.
bags of garbage.
Just-
Bag them up, slang them out.
Right. So,
How much garbage will we have to shovel in those bags? 1 to 5.
yeah. So,
Not this week.
No.
Spoilers.
Probably not going to be bags
We won't
this
find
week.
out.
Because this week we had a pact with Harlow. The pact was always, if Harlow is not here to podcast, we are allowed to watch 1985's The Last Dragon.
Often requested.
Yes.
Yes.
Requested numerous times by numerous fans.
For good reason, I believe.
Yeah.
You might also call this Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon.
Yes.
Because
Because
that is
that
the
is the
official
title.
title of the film. Barry Gordy was the king of Motown. And so this is a big Motown joint.
Yeah.
So we've got people in this movie
We do.
that
There
we've
are
seen
people
and
in
heard
this movie.
before. The star of this film we have not had on a BAMFcast
We have not.
show before.
Well, this was his first role. So
Okay. Well,
we wanted to start from the beginning of
right.
his filmography.
Really. The only
Timac.
way to understand. Yeah, Timac. A young Vulcan boy.
Timac.
Timac.
Who the fuck is Timac? Timac.
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 Also, Vanity.
Vanity.
Bamcast alum Vanity.
So, like,
Yeah,
if they ever
oh.
got married, you would never know who took whose last name because they don't have any.
Right. Correct.
Yeah, Vanity of Never Too Young to Die.
And Action
Jackson fame.
Yes. She has a good track record
She
on the
does, like-
BAMFcast.
The Vanity is becoming the
I believe-
seal of quality.
I believe by
for our
average.
movies.
Yeah, we're going to have to call them 1 to 5 vanities because
she has the biggest ratio of hits of anybody
yes.
that we've done.
Some other people are in this.
It's directed by Michael Schultz.
Yes. Who directed the BAMFcast extra movie Scavenger Hunt. Also directed Disorderlies, which we watched recently.
Yeah.
And a million television shows.
Yes.
Up to and including right now, still directing television. Man's working.
Just did a few episodes of Black Lightning.
Yeah,
Man's on it.
he is.
But probably the most notable BAMFcast alum in this movie. Julius Carey.
Yes.
What a treasure.
Man.
Yeah.
Show enough.
Yes. We first met him in the,
Disco Godfather.
the Rudy Ray Moore classic.
He took some pointers from Rudy Ray Moore.
He learned
Because
some,
his
some
role
kung
as
fu.
Bucky, where we wondered what
Bucky.
Bucky is, where he is, and what has he had.
Yes.
However, now we know
Oh,
what he's
now
had.
I remember who Bucky is.
He's
Yeah,
had
okay.
he's had the glow.
Yes.
Is what has happened to Bucky.
That's right.
Since then.
He caught the glow.
He caught some of the glow. I would
And
say.
I remember telling Harlow, I'm like, that's the guy who played Show Nuff. And he's like, you're lying to me.
Yeah.
Like, he did not believe it. And
I wouldn't put it
after
together
seeing
either.
this, I would never have
Yeah.
connected those dots.
Like, for me, that guy's always the guy from Briscoe County Jr., but now he's the guy from The Last Dragon.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So,
yeah.
there's a... I don't know if he's been in a BAMFcast movie. He was just in the BAMFcast extra movie we did this past weekend. He was in Marmaduke. William H.
Wait,
Macy
oh,
shows up
yeah.
in this film.
Oh,
I was like, is he going to...
yeah. He
He's
has
in
lines,
Marmaduke?
but
What
he's in
the-
it for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
wearing an incredible jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That jacket was 80s as fuck.
When he enters the screen, it's like a double wow, because first you're like, holy God, look what he's wearing. And then you're like, holy God, that's William H. Macy. So, yeah. Chaz Palminteri's in there, too, playing Goon number 2.
Yeah. I don't believe he has any line. Or
Classic
no, he does
role.
have
He's dubbed.
one line. Yeah,
Classic
he's
He's dubbed, though. Yeah. So, And a cast of characters, some of whom deserve to be heralded up there with Kenny the Closer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the the main villain in this movie, not Shonuff, but the other guy, Kenny the Closer-esque.
He is.
Absolutely. What was his name? Eddie Arcadian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also,
Played by Christopher Murney.
I want to note that that Leroy's younger brother was in Rappin'.
Of
Okay,
course.
I thought
Another
yes,
BMFcast
yeah.
alum.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
this is just littered.
It is.
littered
Yeah.
with.
Absolutely. Everybody we've ever
Yeah.
seen or heard before. So, The Last Dragon
The Last Dragon.
seems to start at the end of the training montage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it starts in the middle of a movie, basically.
Yeah.
Ooh, did we do a plot summary?
Fucking hell. No, we didn't, and we will right now. So here we go.
I'm gonna
That's what
drop.
happens when Harlow leaves.
Sorry. Here we
Like,
go.
you know.
Here we go. Here's a plot summary for The Last
Okay.
Dragon. You guys ready?
Hit me with it.
All right. In New York City, a young man searches for the Master to obtain the final level of martial arts mastery known as the Glow. Along the way, he must fight a martial arts expert corrupted with power and rescue a beautiful singer from an obsessed music promoter.
That is one of the best plot summaries we've had.
Yeah.
It is accurate as fuck and
also-
marginally concise.
Yeah, and it also doesn't describe how batshit fucking insane
No.
this movie is.
It does not. It undersells this movie quite a bit.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, like I was saying, the movie starts with just guy is learning. He's finished learning things. Mm-hmm.
He's at the end of his training with his master.
He's doing all the training things.
He's fighting his training dummies.
It looks like he's in like the last training challenge.
Yes,
Like this
the
is
final level.
correct. The second to last level,
Right.
I guess.
Yes. Yeah, there's one more secret stage after this because
Right.
he's doing all
This
the
movie is
things.
the secret stage.
Yeah, his master is shooting arrows at him, which he is deflecting. He catches the last
He's
one.
karate chopping them out of the air
Yes.
and breaking them in half. So
Yes.
I feel that's important.
It is. And then, the last one is wrapped with some sort of blue coloring.
Mm-hmm.
And his master comes over and says, "How did you know that one was blue?" And he says, "I didn't." And he's like, "Well, we'll see about that," and rips this patch off of his workout outfit.
Mm-hmm.
And he immediately drops to his knees like, "Oh, no, I'm so sorry. I didn't,
Yeah,
forgive
how
me,
have I
master."
displeased you, master?
Yeah. And he's like, "Get up. You're watching
He's like-
too many movies about dudes messing up and their master is like, bow down before me.
Mm-hmm.
Get up." And he's like, "I'm not in trouble." He's like, "No.
No,
you did really
succeeded.
good.
Yeah, come over here.
That's exactly what I wanted you to do.
Yeah.
How did you not fuck that up?
Let me show you the 7 stages of the dragon, and
Mm-hmm.
here's the last dragon. There's this circle. You can put whatever you want in it. What's
Yeah.
it gonna be?
Yeah, and it's basically, he said, you have to discover the master, and that's how you'll learn the glow.
Yeah, you have to go to this place in New York.
Mm-hmm.
The final level. You have to reach the final level.
Yes.
Find the master. Discover the glow.
Yes.
Get out.
Find the master, discover the glow.
Yeah, and he's basically like, "Hey, I can't teach anything else, so good luck.
Mm-hmm. The
Farewell."
student has become the better student.
Yeah.
Now,
Student has become the graduate.
now get out.
Yeah.
I want my house back.
Yeah, we converted this into a dojo 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You never left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, he leaves. He I don't know where that was. It seems like it's far away, but it just
But
seems
it's
like
not
he
because
walks
he goes
over to
back
New
later.
York.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just walks back to New York.
Eh, it's probably New Jersey.
Yeah, and it's just kind of he walks around the streets for a little bit. Like he's been given a medallion. He's like, "You got to give this to the master. This belonged to Bruce Lee. He'll know."
Oh,
it
and
when
he's
he sees it."
excited as shit that it was Bruce Lee's.
Oh yeah, he's got a major Bruce Lee boner. He's just like, Bruce Lee's the best. Like
Yeah. But this starts his journey to find
Yeah.
the master.
which really is just he talks to like 3 people on the street and then just goes to the movies.
Yeah.
He gives up real quick. He like pets a dog, talks to one guy in the street who points, and then he's suddenly watching a Bruce Lee movie
Well,
in a
maybe
theater.
like he's a huge Bruce Lee fan, so
Yes.
maybe he's like, "Oh man,
Yeah.
I get to see whichever Bruce Lee movie was playing."
Yeah.
I'm sure it's in the IMDb trivia somewhere.
yeah,
Just like,
It's only a
I'll
few
just
to
pop
choose
in
from.
for a movie
Yeah.
in the worst movie theater you have ever been in.
No.
But also the best.
This is the best movie. This is like
Man.
Grindhouse and a show because like everyone has shtick, and there's all these little factions who all wait their turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
And everybody knows this movie, so it's probably been playing at this movie theater for like
Yeah,
10 years
Yes.
now. And everybody, like, they recite the lines. People get up and dance in the aisles. There's popcorn thrown everywhere. It is like going to see Rocky Horror
Yeah,
in
the
a
only
little
time
indie
they
theater.
the only time they get mad is when somebody brings a boombox in.
Well,
and
because
it's-
people just start breakdancing in the aisle.
And they crank the boombox the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one guy's not having it.
Yeah.
And he goes and double jumps
Double
onto
foot stomps the boombox, which is a tragic waste of a boombox in retrospect.
Man, that boombox explodes
a
too.
million pieces. Like
They constructed that boombox out of like painted cardboard or something because it just
Well, it's shattered. It's just
Yeah.
everywhere.
yeah. And we see Leroy, our hero, is sitting in the front row eating popcorn with chopsticks. And just really not paying any attention to the shenanigans going on.
I will say, pro tip: eat snacks that have salt or dust on them with chopsticks. It's actually a really good idea.
It's not a bad idea.
Cheetos.
It will keep Cheeto dust off of your fingers.
Yes. And then your controllers will not look orange.
Exactly, and you can also karate better.
That makes sense. That checks out. The math
Yeah,
checks
it
out.
does. It
Yeah.
does. I know it does.
because part of the training montage was someone using chopsticks for whatever reason.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also should mention Leroy is basically wearing like the I don't want to call it like a dojo outfit, but it's like the whole kung fu buttoned up
Traditional.
traditional garb. But he's also got one of those giant hats.
Straw umbrella hats on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
And
apologize.
he's always wearing it around. Like he's basically an Asian stereotype, except he's a black kid.
Yeah. Yes. That's correct. Mm-hmm. I mean, he talks with that cadence, and just all his mannerisms are of that.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just minding his own business. Like, he's not...
Yeah, he's
not-
just watching the movie.
He's just enjoying the movie. And then suddenly there's a disturbance.
A
Oh,
disturbance
man.
is putting it lightly.
there is a great disturbance in the force in a good way.
Man, because, like, marching in 2 by 2 are these matching outfit... this gang.
Matching is kind of like they're
They're color coordinated with
yeah.
big shoulder pads. And they-
camo plus accessories.
And they come in 2 by 2, and then the front 2 separate off, and
and then the next
the
two
next
walk
2
past them
yeah,
and separate
off.
And they
And then eventually their leader has arrived. The leader
is the great and powerful Shonuff.
yes, one of the best characters in a movie, not just a BMFcast movie.
Ever.
Fucking amazing entrance as well. Like
Shonuff is basically like if Rudy Ray Moore was actually awesome.
Yeah,
exactly.
like he
he-
embodies how awesome Rudy Ray Moore thinks he is,
Yeah.
I think,
but he's
but in a
actually
charismatic
awesome.
way. Yeah,
I think that is what he learned from Rudy Ray Moore.
Probably.
Is
Like,
how to
do that.
project confidence.
Yeah.
But he is actually also awesome. Mm-hmm. The entrance that he gives like an entrance call and return thing, and somebody in the live stream chat mentioned that like if Shonuff was a pro wrestler, it would be the greatest gimmick of all time.
Yeah.
And fuck yes, because if you had an entourage and walked in like this, he's like, "Who's the greatest?"
yeah.
Shonuff.
Shonuff.
I was very much going to say that the entirety of this first introduction of Shonuff and his gang and all the things they say and do are very much like late 90s WCW, like here's a faction of guys who have all come to the ring at the same time,
Yeah.
and they're all just hype manning whoever the leader of the group is, and the difference is that everyone fucking loves it, but everyone in the theater is just like mostly not terrified, but just like, oh yes,
They're
Shonuff is
afraid
here.
because Shonuff is a badass.
Yeah, but then like someone says, you're not the baddest, and then it was like Shonuff is like, who said that? Who the hell said that?
Yeah.
And one of them's like, I got this, and just picks up this kid and gives him to Shonuff, and it's just like,
Yeah. Is that Leroy's brother?
I don't know
Because I don't
because
think
I wasn't
we
paying
hadn't
attention.
been introduced to him yet.
Yeah, so I
at
was
that point,
I'm
so
not
I
sure.
can't remember if it was him or not.
Yeah.
But a kid about his brother's age says Leroy is the best.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Or does he call him the Last Dragon at that point or not?
I think he just calls him Leroy.
Yeah, but he says
He calls him,
Doesn't he
Bru-
say-
he
he
calls
says
him Bruce
Bruce Leroy. Yeah,
Bruce Leroy
that
could
must have
take
been
you
his
down.
brother.
Yeah,
and Shonuff is like, Leroy's here.
yeah,
Oh, that son of a bitch.
He's like,
yeah. Because he just goes over to the front row where Leroy's sitting, and is just like, get up, time to fight.
And Leroy has not been paying attention at
No.
all. Like
watching
he's
the
just
he's
been
been watching the movie.
Yeah,
watching the movie, eating popcorn and chopsticks, not even looking the direction of Shonuff.
yeah. But
Goddamn Shonuff.
But yeah, Shonuff. This starts basically. Shonuff's life from this moment forward revolves around where Leroy is
And what is he
when Leroy is going to fight him.
yeah, that's all he thinks about. That's all he could say when he comes in. Anywhere, whenever he makes an appearance, it's just like, where's Leroy?
Yeah, he basically spends the rest of the movie demanding Leroy's whereabouts.
He just explodes into a room
and tells everyone there, he's like, when you see him again, you tell him we are going to fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's basically like, I'm the Shogun of Harlem.
Mm-hmm. And Leroy's like, that's nice. I'm going to leave. I'll see you around.
I don't know why he's so mad. Like,
well, that little kid said, Leroy's the best.
Well, what happens is like Leroy just won't challenge him.
Right. He's just like,
and so the other guys, he's like, if you're not going to challenge Shonuff, is anybody? And so of course,
yeah, dudes start jumping off the balcony.
These dudes are like,
are any 50 people going to challenge Shonuff?
Yeah,
and it's just Donnybrook.
He gets up on stage, and like dudes are jumping at him, and he's kicking all their asses, and Leroy's just kind of like, well, this is an entertaining show, but I'm gonna head out now.
Yeah, he basically just goes out the side, and Shonuff, like in the middle of the fight, is like, Leroy,
yeah,
this isn't over. And Leroy's like,
yeah, okay, see you around.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know what your
Later.
beef is, man, but I was just watching a movie. Bye.
Yeah,
yeah.
But yeah, he leaves, and Shonuff just beats the hell out of all these people.
Yeah.
And Shonuff's gang, I believe, contributes to some upbeating.
Yes.
It's got a pretty diverse gang. It's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. But Leroy, I guess the next thing is Leroy at the dojo teaching a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
How to karate.
Yeah. So I mean,
how to do the moves.
He has a job, like apparently
Better than Shonuff.
Yeah.
Shonuff's job is trying to find Leroy to fight.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's working.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although no, I think we go to the club first. Because,
okay. Yeah, we're introduced
because when he's training, like that Shonuff shows up again.
Okay.
And it wasn't right away. I think this is when Vanity comes in.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Because we go to the Seventh Heaven Club, which is it's a nightclub / nightly music video show.
Yes.
But like
it's her vid pics.
Yeah. Yeah, hot vid pics.
Yeah, something. Divix.
Samuel L. Jackson's hot Divix.
Yeah. Or Divix pics. Something like that.
Yeah. You play it once and then the disc he wrote.
God. I still
fuck you, Divix.
Every once in a while I realized that was a thing that actually existed.
Yeah.
That made it to market.
Yeah, someone said
like
this would be great.
That'll be like, hey, you watch them once and then they fucking disintegrate and throw them in a landfill.
Yeah. Way to go, Hollywood. Yeah. Good job, guys.
And people resent our all-digital future.
Yeah.
Do not resent the all-digital future. No. But anyway,
yes.
she runs her Hot Vid Pics show.
Laura Charles is her name, which is just the most...
Why not just call her Vanity?
I don't know. But that is just the most like General Hospital name I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Laura Charles presents video hot pics.
Yeah. But watching this show is Eddie Arcadian.
Eddie Arcadian!
who, like, in the way that Shonuff goes for it, Eddie does as well.
Yes.
Eddie is basically kind of, like, to me, he's most akin to, like, Rip Torn in Slaughter, where he's just, like, a blaxploitation villain, almost. I mean, because, like, this whole movie is very much a blaxploitation movie.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you've never seen it, like, it's very clear early on, right off the bat. And Eddie Arcadian is playing right into that because he is just... It's never really said what his job is or what his connections are.
He is introduced at one point, like early on, when either he says it or someone says it about him, saying he is the video game king.
He says it himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold up. What? Because he never... There's one shot of him in an arcade... But other than that, he never does anything with a video game ever. And so I was thinking maybe that meant the music video game. Like, I'm in the game of music videos. Yeah,
it's
like that. But it's never... He's just
But
a
his
dude.
name is Arcade Ian.
Exactly.
So...
I think he owns that arcade.
Okay.
I think he's in the arcade business.
Yeah. and
He's
now
like the guy in Wayne's World.
Okay, so now he wants to branch out to music videos. With
Apparently, because he thinks he's king shit.
Yeah, and his girlfriend Angela is very clearly supposed to be kind of a combination of Cyndi Lauper and Madonna.
Right.
But with Cyndi Lauper's voice, so you can imagine how that goes for the rest of the movie. But
she's actually an okay character.
yes, she is. She sounds annoying, but she pretty much is stands up for herself and gets
Yeah.
dumped on a lot
Well,
throughout.
Eddie is making her a lot of promises that she's going to be a star, but she is not one of those. She doesn't feel like, by any means necessary, am I going to be a star? Like I'm. There are limits to what
Yeah.
I will allow you to do.
Yeah, but
Which
she's
then-
also like, this sounds good, I guess,
Yeah.
for now.
Okay, Eddie, you know best. She's kind of that way for the longest time of just
Yeah.
like whatever you
But-
say, Eddie.
But she's already made a music video,
Yeah. Yes, they have.
which is the kind of music video you would expect someone to make in 1985.
Pretty much, yes. If they weren't trying hard, but also
However-
trying
however,
really
the
hard.
song is kind of catchy.
It's not
It's
bad.
pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like they had to make it bad. Like it
Yeah.
was talented people fucking up on purpose
Yeah.
in a way.
It has that feel.
It isn't that it's necessarily bad. Like, it's produced well, it's played well.
Yeah.
It's just like the lyrics are kind of
Yeah.
kind of lazy.
It's
That's the biggest sin that song commits somehow.
Kind of great.
She's
somehow.
she's like a Julie Brown character, not downtown Julie Brown, but the comedian Julie Brown. Mm-hmm. She did a bunch of Madonna parodies and
Yeah.
stuff
Okay,
like that.
I gotcha.
It's like that. But anyway, so Eddie's just basically like, I'm going to make you a star, and the way I'm going to do that is we're going to kidnap Vanity.
Was that their
Yeah.
very first plan was to kidnap
Well,
Vanity?
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't even. Well, what happened is he sent William H. Macy to talk to her to
Right.
come
That's right.
over.
Yeah,
to
that
meet.
was that was
And that's when we see William H. Macy wearing
Yeah.
the world's coolest glittery jacket
Yes.
that William H. Macy will ever wear.
Million colors on it. I hope he took that home.
it looked like a disco stained glass window.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the opening credits of A Different World.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
If that makes any
Yeah.
sense. That jacket embodies the opening credits of A Different
Oh
World.
my God.
Excellent call. Excellent call.
How did you? Oh, I haven't thought about the opening credits of A Different World in 30 years. How did you just do that?
You're welcome.
It's a different.
Oh my
world
I
God.
have weird things in my brain.
Oh my
Where
God.
we come from.
But so Eddie's thing is that you've got to wine and dine rich people.
Yeah.
And the thing that he keeps sticking to over and over again is that you let them order a la carte. Like
'Cause
that,
it
because
costs
rich
more.
people, that's their jam. Like if they don't all order off the menu, if they order a la carte, that's how we get them. That's how we get them
like,
on our side.
I
Is
was
we
gonna
provide
wine and
them-
dine you and
Yeah.
let you order a la carte.
Yes.
Which is what he says after he kidnaps her.
He says it. He says it in the run up too, because
In the
he's
run-up,
like
yeah.
he's explaining to Angela's like, this is how we get rich people on board. We let them order a la carte. Just like,
Yeah.
what? But so, yeah. So William H Macy tries to convince her, fails, and then calls Eddie and is just like, she won't agree to this, and Eddie flips out, and so he sends goons to go kidnap her.
Yeah.
Now this is after they've had a show. They have played DeBarge's song "Rhythm of the Night" in its entirety, which we watched the music video for. And then Vanity comes out on stage and does an entire song, which is the most schizophrenic song I've ever heard. I don't know what that song is about at all.
That song's bad.
It's a bad song.
Vanity is not a good singer.
You got upstaged by DeBarge.
That is a bad. Hey man, Rhythm of the Night's a jam.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying you played a video on your screen and then you couldn't top it with your in-studio whatever that was.
So Vanity is not a good singer. I think that song would have been catchy as hell by somebody else. You
Maybe.
hand that song off to anybody with charisma,
Yeah.
and it's a fucking all-time jam.
Because I mean, her choreography is like jerky, and it's just it's like half thriller music video, half I don't know what the fuck you're doing, and the crowd is like, are we participating in this? Or are we just hanging out in the background? What are we doing? But anyway, so
Yeah.
her show ends, and she goes out to leave, and she goes to get in her limo, and it's a different limo driver. It's Chaz Palminteri for some reason, and
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, where's Jimmy?" And he's like,
Giving the night off.
Jimmy's sleeping with the fishes or something, it's something real dumb. And she's like, oh, okay. And like they drive, I don't know, 6 feet down the road and goons show up and try to get her. And she fights him off with her purse for half a second. And then Leroy is there because he had seen her get into the limo and got all starstruck. He was like, gah. And he goes into karate mode, just like to wreck these dudes. How dare they?
He does some good dude wrecking.
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
He wrecks these dudes and then hails a cab and puts her in it and
disappears.
vanishes.
And vanishes.
Vanishes from Vanity's vantage.
Really?
What? What?
However,
why are you mad?
so Leroy has one possession. the Bruce Lee medallion, and he
Yes.
has lost it during the fight.
Yes.
The Bruce Lee medallion.
Because
in air
Vanity
quotes.
sees it, picks it up, and goes, and takes it home.
It has fallen apart into 2 pieces because he was that careless.
Yep. So,
So,
Leroy goes home, I guess. Got just a typical New York kind of family. Just everyone hanging out in the kitchen, having breakfast in the morning.
oh yeah,
And
his little sister is Rudy.
Rudy. Yeah.
Rudy from the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
Like I guess pre when she showed up on the show.
Must have been like
Yes.
immediately pre-Cosby because
Yeah.
she was that right age for Rudy.
yeah.
Yeah, because like she's like 3 years old in this,
Yes.
and basically gets to ham it up for one scene. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like do you want cereal? Yeah, and that's it.
They
And
also
he gives
call
her
her
chopsticks.
Yeah, they call her 3 different names, and the younger brother's like, y'all should really get around to naming that kid. So,
Well, Leroy calls her Lotus Flower.
yeah,
And
someone
she's
calls her
also
Sophia, and
yeah.
then someone calls her something else, and it's just like, y'all should name this kid.
She's officially billed as Sophia. So
Oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
that must
They
be
got
her-
around to naming
that
her.
must be her legal name.
But Daddy Green,
So
the
Leroy's little
because-
brother is giving Leroy shit.
Yeah, they establish how this family works. Is the younger brother is basically always picking on Leroy for being into this whole like
yeah,
He's
Asia
mouthy.
karate thing.
yeah, and
You know,
he's also convinced he's going to win the vanity contest of do a thing. It's never really quite established what the fucking thing
it's
is.
a dance contest.
But it's just I will do the thing, and then vanity will be mine.
Yeah, so because it wasn't the winner won a date with her.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because the dad's
and
like,
he had been in the audience when she
Yes.
had done her horrible song.
right, and fell in love with her.
Yes.
And because she blew him a kiss on the video screen, and he caught it.
Oh,
Correct.
Right. And so the dad's like, so you're going to win that contest? And he's like, yeah. And he's, what's the prize? A date. A date? That's stupid.
yeah.
So, but yeah. So
Daddy
he's,
Green is pretty good.
yeah, he's just ragging on Leroy the whole time. And, you know, the dad's like, look, people thought I was weird when I opened the first pizzeria in this neighborhood.
Yep.
The first black man to open a pizzeria in New York, I think
Yeah.
he said.
But then he's like, but they fell in love with my slogan.
What was it? Get a your pizza to Green's.
Daddy
To
Green,
Daddy
Green's
Green's
Pizza.
pizza.
move your pizza.
Yeah, move your
Move
pizza.
your pizza. Yeah.
Move your pizza.
Oh, he's a BMFcast alum as well.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's Jim Moody,
Jim Moody.
DC Cab,
Uh-huh. Oh. Man, that
DC
DC
Cab.
Cab's fun.
and I think that's about
DC
it.
Cab had so many people.
It did,
I
yeah.
do not
100,000
remember
people.
who
yeah,
was in it.
That would be hard to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, okay, so yeah, we've met the family. I don't believe we ever see the family again. No, we do. I'm
We-
sorry,
we
we
see
do
them
at
one
at
more
work.
time.
Yeah,
A very significant time.
that's true. Yes, I apologize.
Yeah, but not in their home life.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, even the brother like answers the phone like and is like, "Oh, Leroy, he's up on the roof doing that yoga crap."
Right. Yeah. So, this is when he's training.
Well, what happens is the TV show comes on, and that's
Yeah.
when Leroy goes, "Oh, it's her."
Right.
And then basically he's not training. The brother is going to teach him to dance, or they're going to get to the show somehow because the brother now, who like let's note is like 11,
Yeah, 10 or
Maybe.
11 at most.
and is like, "Hey, you know, you're Leroy. You're a virgin. You don't know how to do any of the moves. You got to have the moves if you're going to please the ladies."
Yeah.
You know, like an
Yeah, you need to-
11-year-old is going to teach
Yeah. You need to have the moves.
the 19-year-old brother how to have sex.
Yeah, because he's saying things to him like, if you do it wrong, it's going to hurt. It's like,
yeah.
what? Not you.
It's like, yeah, you're
her.
It's like, you're 11. Stop.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you know about fuck?
Yeah.
Child.
Exactly. What do you know about fuck? So, yeah, the training thing must have happened before this family breakfast.
Yeah, it did because the brother made fun of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
there's training at the dojo where he's just training a class of karate kids,
Mm-hmm.
and he's wearing Bruce Lee's yellow and black outfit. That's his I'm the teacher, look at me.
Well, I mean, it's the Game of Death outfit.
Yeah, exactly. So he's just training everybody, and then it's just like, all right, open gym, and then everyone is just doing all their own karate shit.
It's barely even like a lesson, and then
Yeah.
it's just all right.
He's like, remember,
engage
be
in
true to your heart.
pandemonium.
Well, yeah.
Now punch things.
Yeah, and this is kind of when we're introduced to Johnny Yu.
Johnny Yu.
Who is his most vocal student, let's put it that way.
Yes.
Where he does the whole, like, I'm going to intimidate him by doing all the Bruce Lee stuff. And
it's basically, he explains to Leroy that I don't know how to fight at all, but if I make it sound like I'm threatening, and he also says that, people are afraid of Asians.
If you're Asian and you look like you know how to do martial arts, then people will be afraid of you.
So he's like,
this is what I'm practicing instead of actual martial arts.
He does all the things, and then the guy he's sparring with just immediately roundhouse kicks him to the face.
oh yeah, he gets fucking rocked.
Dropped him.
Yeah.
But then Shonuff shows up.
He does, yes. Time to fight me.
Yeah. And he's like, Leroy, I've heard there was training happening.
Yes.
I want you to train
He's
me.
like, the sign outside said training. I'm here. Who do I write the check out to?
I would like to join your dojo.
Yeah, what can you teach me?
What time is the next class? Yeah, so it's just basically like, all right, fight time now. And
Yeah.
Leroy's like, I will not fight you. And then Johnny U's like, I'll fight you. Comes running in.
Well,
from
no,
off
I mean,
screen.
it goes on for a while.
Oh, yeah,
and it's
absolutely.
basically like, he's like, you won't fight me, you'll fight my gang.
Yeah.
Will you fight the ladies?
Yeah, he's like,
and
oh,
the
you-
ladies all like do punches in front of his face, which Shonuff had done in the theater too.
Yeah.
Where like everyone does all these punches right at his face and
Yeah.
he doesn't flinch.
Yeah.
And so all the ladies do that and start taunting him, and eventually one of them hits him.
Yes,
Like
makes
like
contact.
she screws up her.
Yeah.
I was trying to fake you out, and hits him.
Yeah. Oops.
And that's when he gets in a stance, and then he's like, "No, I'm not going to do it."
Yeah.
He looks back among the gathered members of his dojo, and he's like, I should not disrespect myself and my dojo.
But
the
By
dojo's like,
beating the
kick his
dog
ass.
shit out of a lady.
Yeah.
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 But at this point, Shonuff's basically like, "Well, if you're not going to fight me, you're going to kiss my Converse."
Right.
And
Kneel down.
this like
Shonuff's line delivery.
it's
Everything is...
everything is better when it's said by Shonuff.
Yeah.
Yes, and everything is that... I'm going to keep going back to Rudy Ray Moore because it's so much like Rudy Ray Moore's line delivery. But
Good.
good, yeah, he pulls it off. It's not like, I'm going to... and I'll kick your motherfucking ass.
Yeah.
It's in a very similar
Yeah.
cadence, but also extraordinarily different. Like,
Yeah.
he makes it work.
But like even some of his lines are very bad PG-13 speak of just like, you stink. It's just like some very childish
he tells
things.
him, what are we going to do with this limp wimp
Yeah. He has some very embarrassing on paper lines that he makes the
that
best
he
of.
sells?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's
Yeah.
somehow just fucking magnificent.
Yeah. He's great.
Yeah.
He's absolutely great.
Love it.
But he's like, you got to kiss my Converse.
Yep. Kneel.
And that's when Johnny U's like, no.
Right.
And then he immediately gets chased around the room because as soon as the one guy's ready to fight him, he tries to run away.
Nope.
He gets put in a
Runs away.
headlock.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're going to kiss my Converse or we're going to snap his neck. And so, of course, Leroy kind of bends down and is about to and gets kicked in the face by Shonuff.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you're going to fight me sometime. I'll be back.
Right.
And I will...
And this will be all I think about until then.
Yes.
I will do nothing else other than plan or try to fight you.
I will go home and write a blog, and all it will say is, when is Leroy fighting me, and where?
You should read my dream journal. It's nothing except you and me fighting in various locales.
Yep.
Yeah. So, okay, before we get to the next scene, just some other details of Eddie Arcadian and his crew. He's got this guy, Mike Starr, who you've seen in a million things, like he was in Dumb and Dumber. He's the guy who gets annoyed by the most annoying sound in the world, but he's in Black Dynamite. He's in a million movies. So he, for some reason, has this piranha tank that
Yeah.
it's just part of Eddie's office, and his job is to feed these piranhas. Like, you never see them, but he feeds them like a giant thing of meat, and they, debone it, basically. So that's another factor to Eddie's batshit insane empire that he has. So Leroy and his little brother are going to the studio because they're going to sign up for the contest.
Yeah.
And the little brother's like, I don't wait in line for tickets. Let's go sneak in. And during the process of all this, the little brother's like, I'll find another way in. You wait here. And while he's waiting there, this sound truck pulls up that Mike Starr, which is Eddie's henchman, gets out of, walks in, and leads Vanity out and just is like, we need you in the truck to do some sound things, whatever. This is the easiest kidnapping plot I've ever seen because it's just immediately, it works.
Yeah. Hey, TV production was different back then.
Yeah. So they lock her in this truck and drive away, and Leroy gives chase for half a second, and, you know, obviously he's not going to lethal weapon his way to catch this truck. So he comes back to where the truck sped off from, and there's a clipboard there that has Eddie's name on it, which, you know, good job.
It says, like, Arcadian Studios or something.
Eddie Arcadian Productions or something like that. So...
Fucking idiot.
So basically, Leroy just ninjas up.
Yeah, well, they make her watch the video. It's
do,
a different
yes.
video from earlier, I believe. Or no, this
is the first time we're seeing it.
We've seen it.
Yeah.
There is a different one that shows up later.
The thing is that in the first scene, she's laying there in a ridiculous outfit, so it seems like that's the video. But, like, yeah, now they're showing you this video, which is 80s convoluted and themed and has some ideas going on, but they're doing the thing where they just have to make it seem a little worse than what probably everyone is capable of. So she is, like, trying not to look at it. And
there
just
are a lot of vanity reaction shots during
like
this.
she will just, like, her hair falls in front of her face and she kind of, like, dissatisfyingly blows it away so she can keep watching this, and, like, Eddie forces her head back. It's like, no, the action's over here. And they're like, so what do you think?
He goes,
you gonna play my video?
She goes, no.
No.
He's like, I don't think you heard me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask again.
And he's like, we were gonna let you order a la carte.
That's when he brings it back up. I was going to wine you and dine you and let you order a la carte.
We tried to do this the nice way.
Yeah.
And
so
this is what we get.
Yeah, she's like, no, you kidnapped me, and this video sucks. I'm not putting this on. She's more diplomatic about it. She's like, it's just not for our audience. It's just not what we do. And it seems like...
Well, and she starts saying something, and Angela cuts her off.
Yeah.
She's like, she just said it's not right now is not a good time.
Maybe it's not a good time for her to watch the video. Let's try it again later. And Eddie's like, nah, we're going to take care of this right now. And they menace her for half a second, and then that's when Leroy shows up.
Yeah, he kicks the door in, and he's wearing, like, the ninja mask now, so they can't see who he is.
Yeah, and he basically ninja stars everyone in the room.
Yeah, because all the limo guys, when they came back, there was a team of like 20 guys that took us out.
Oh.
And they were all black, too.
So it's two Italians and a black dude that are the henchmen, and one of the Italian guys is like, yeah, and they were all big black guys, and they kind of turn to the other black guy for like, right?
They just they just kind of make space for the camera to see him.
Yeah.
And he has this look on his face like, yeah, and they were big,
yeah.
too.
But at first he's like, you racist mother... Yes, they were black.
Yep.
Which, let's just talk about it for a second. This movie, mid-80s...
Mildly racist?
The most casual racism for the sake of jokes, but it's like, it's never... It's strange because it's always like...
It's almost always the...
Directed inward somehow?
Right, like... So the they were all black guys thing, the black guy kind of like says it's okay at that point.
Yeah.
Later on in the movie, there's some Asian racism that is perpetrated by all the Asian dudes,
and they're doing it on purpose.
Right.
You know, it's not like they're forced into it because of the screenplay. The characters are being stereotypical amongst themselves.
Yeah, I mean it's
I'm sure it's in the screenplay, but it's
Yeah.
part of the character.
But I mean, the characters are doing it.
They have their own internal motivations.
It's their own patter.
You don't want to phrase it like it's like good-natured, but
No.
it's kind of like it's not like Revenge of the Nerds type thing where it's like, no, this is wrong. What's happening here?
Yeah,
it's not that. It's
it's
just one of those things. It's like nowadays it's just problematic. Like you could not make this movie now the same way.
It's like if
with all of the casual joking that happens.
Yeah, if you're watching this now for the first time today, you might turn to an older person and say, "Was there no racism in the mid '80s? Like, was just everything okay back then? Like, was there so much not racism that everyone could just be really racist and none of it mattered?" Because that's how it feels.
Yeah.
It feels like we had cured racism in the mid '80s, and everyone was just free to do and say whatever. And then suddenly, I don't know, racism just came roaring back, and then everyone was like, "Whoa, knock that shit off." Which I guess
If you
really,
watch movies at the time, you would think that.
Yes,
but,
you would.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It's.
Yeah.
You could probably write a blog about some of it being
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
problematic,
sure there's
but,
a think piece in it.
But Jesus
or
Christ,
two.
this movie is fun as fuck. So
It is really funny and not. It's not like
It's not mean-spirited.
It's not
I don't want to
That's the
say it's
thing I wanna
good-natured
say.
either, but
yeah,
it's not mean-spirited.
It's not mean-spirited, I
Yeah.
guess. But either way, we're a bunch of white dudes talking about that, so
Yeah.
our opinion probably doesn't
Fuck
count
do we
for
know.
a
Well,
ton.
The white people in this are problematic too.
yeah.
Well, at least Eddie doesn't call anybody the N-word that I remember.
Yeah,
So
No.
Shonuff is the only one that uses that word.
Yes.
And he uses it to great effect.
Yes.
yes.
He uses it
In
properly.
his introduction and later on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesomely and properly.
Yeah.
I
Respect.
believe he uses the A
Yes.
variant.
Yeah,
yes,
of
as you
course.
would.
Yeah.
Yes.
You would hope so. But anyway.
Yeah. So Leroy's come in. He's ninja star dudes, and like the henchmen are just like, so now they're winged. Like they all only have one hand, and so they're just useless fighting Leroy. Eventually, like it comes down to just Leroy, who's just gonna fight Eddie, and this starts getting very close to the piranha tank, and I'm like, we're wrapping this up early,
Yeah.
because he's just basically like, hey Eddie, time to cool off, and goes to dunk his head.
Eddie goes, "You made a big mistake, kid," and yanks off the sock on his
He's
head.
like, I don't know you, yoink, and it's basically still like, I still don't know you. Who are you?
Yep.
Because
But,
yeah,
but then that's when he goes, "Yeah, you really need to cool off."
yeah, you need to cool off, Eddie.
Yeah, because Eddie makes him an offer almost. He's
kind
like,
of.
But what?
Sorry,
y-
I was
y-
waiting to interject.
No, go ahead.
Oh, well, before, like, 4 or 5 scenes before this, in the last Eddie's office scene,
Yep.
he's told Rock to get rid of the piranha.
Right.
And he's like, get rid of it. I thought I told you to get rid of it. And Rock says, oh, well, you said it has its uses and to not get rid of it. And he's like, yeah, but I hate it. I really don't like it here. And sort of implies that he should get rid of it
Yeah.
again. So I'm...
Well,
Anyway.
well, after this, it's very much gone.
Right.
Because, so he goes to dunk Eddie's head in this vat, and Eddie's immediately like, no, 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 no. And his head is in there for a nanosecond. Like enough for the water to bubble up and for him to get wet, and then that's it. And there's like a little tiny little speck
Cut
of blood
on
on the
his-
bridge
yeah.
of his nose. Like, that's all he managed to get before he got away. Like, Leroy didn't know what was in there, and still doesn't know what's in. He doesn't act like, oh shit, there's piranha in there. He was just like, all right, well, I got you wet. That'll teach you a lesson. All right,
Yeah.
come on, Vanity, let's go.
Yeah, he takes, and then this is when Angela just is like, "Oh, Eddie, you're so wet. You gotta dry off." And he's like, "Don't touch me."
He's like, shut your hole. And she's like wringing out his tie
Wringing out his
and just
tie.
patting his face.
It's a very cute thing. Angela's character is played so
Yeah.
sympathetically.
Yeah. Well, she's just so
While being
innocent about
annoying
all of
as
it.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the general sense.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, he takes her back to Vanity, back to her apartment, to which he's, they do a nice whole double entendre thing going on where she's brought him in,
Yeah.
and he's like, well, you have something of mine that I'd be really pleased if you got it for me. And then
She's
she's
like,
like,
"I'd be
oh,
pleased
that
too."
belt buckle
Oh,
thing.
right,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And he's like, it's not a belt. It's a very
No,
important
he's actually
medallion."
like belt buckle. Like he's
Yeah.
never heard the phrase before. He's very like fish out of water, which doesn't make any sense.
He's been training with the sensei since he was a kid, is what is my
Well, then
head
his
canon.
parents
but-
needed to react a little stronger to his reaction of coming home because he just came in for breakfast and they're like, "Hey,
Yeah.
haven't seen you since you were 4, son.
But I just, I
Since
love
we
the
sold
way
you to that Asian master."
Aw. No.
No, you're right.
No.
I didn't mean it like that.
No.
I
Strike that.
I was
Yeah.
not even thinking of it that
No.
way. So sorry.
But they I love the way they play this scene because he's like so excited about getting the medallion back. But if
She's
you-
like-
if you think of it in terms of sex,
Yeah.
like his nervousness should seem like that. But
Yeah. She's like, I'll go get it for you. And he's like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm getting the medallion back. And he like saunters around the living room and is just like, I'm going to sit here and wait for the medallion. This is the best.
yeah, he's acting like the kid on prom night where she's like, I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be back in just a minute.
He's like,
and that's when the kid sits on the bed and is like, yes, it's happening.
yeah. But all he thinks that's going to happen is he's going to get the medallion back.
Yeah.
And he's
just
super
all
happy
he-
about it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's-
but all he
and
cares
it's
about is the
wonderful.
medallion. And she's like primping up her hair and everything. It's so
he
good.
plays such a good, like, happy innocence with this character.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh boy,
Yeah.
oh golly gee, I'm just gonna, oh man, what a great day! I'm getting my medallion back, and oh, this apartment is so neat.
Yeah,
and
it's a neato apartment. And she comes
wow,
out,
look at everything.
and like the medallion, she put a ribbon on it, and like Star Wars awards it to him. And she's like, "Here, this way you won't lose it again." And he's like, "You're the best. This is just look at this medallion. This is so good." And then she's like, "Won't you sit down?" And he's like, "Yes, I will." And then she's kind of like, and he's like, "What?" And that's almost as far as it gets. But she is like, you're kind of cool and awesome. And he's like, yeah, but she's like, haven't had the sex lately, putting out those vibes.
Yeah.
And he's just like, don't know what you're talking about. I got my medallion. It's shiny.
Yeah, gotta go.
Yeah, see ya. Yeah. Yeah. So, from here.
God, where do we go?
From
Where
here,
do
this
we
is,
go
I believe,
now?
the next day is when...
Oh, is this when we're at the pizza parlor?
almost. What happens is she takes him around. Like they're driving around that day, and he's asking her about. Oh, he has this friend that needs to, he's never had sex before, so he needs
that
help
Ben?
with that.
It was around this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he ran into her on the street and was like, "Hey," and then she says something weird like, "I'll be right back," and then it just cuts to them in a car going somewhere.
Okay, all right, I remember what happened. Is basically she comes to him and asks him to be her bodyguard.
Right.
That's right.
Yes.
She tracks him down in his dojo and wants to hire him to be the bodyguard.
Yeah.
And that's when Johnny U's like, he shows up in the middle of the scene. He's like, "Oh man, you're Vanity. You're the best.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But like,
You're Laura Charles.
Yeah, doing the whole like speaking to the celebrity
You're
in the
you're
third person in front of the celebrity thing.
You're the Pornhub lady on
Yeah.
the video screen or whatever.
Pornhub lady.
Whatever the name.
It's the
Hot vids.
Divx lady. The Divx
Hot
lady.
Divx.
Hot Divx
Hot
pics.
Divx.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and he's like, I can't.
Yeah.
I just can't do that.
Oh, there's also like one of the best lines in the movie
Absolutely.
at the end of this. Like,
Yes.
he says,
I'm Johnny
No.
Yu. Nice to meet you. And she says, "Hi, Johnny. Nice to meet you."
"Acting."
dumb.
So good.
It's so dumb, but it's so good.
So good.
Yep.
Yeah, but they go outside and they get in a car and drive around, and he's just like, "So, a friend of mine I know doesn't know how to do the moves. Could you give me some advice to give to him?" And she's like, we could just do it."
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, it's not me. It's my friend.
Yeah,
he doesn't know
honest.
the moves."
Wasn't this...
I think while they were driving around is when also, meanwhile, back at the pizza parlor,
Yeah.
the family's going about their business doing pizzas.
Ooh.
And then
And sure enough,
shown up as
shows up.
Where's Leroy?
He goes,
Time to fight.
he's like, "I was told Leroy Green is here."
And Leroy Green Sr. is like, "Speaking." And shown up is like, "The hell? It's not you."
When you watch this movie, because you're going to watch this movie
Yeah.
after listening to this podcast, or else you're fired.
Mm-hmm.
Just look at all the signs in the background. All the signs of the
Yes.
pizza place are fucking wonderful.
Yeah.
The set designers deserve 1,000,000 awards.
The set designers and the fashion designers.
And the costume designers.
Because, man, I don't know how Shonuff gets through the door.
No. If I could just call back to the previous scene. When she says, "I'll be right back,"
Yeah.
she changes her outfit
Yeah.
to a vaguely Asian-inspired, like, it's Asian-inspired enough that you can tell
Yeah.
that she's deliberately trying to match him.
Yes.
And it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
Most of her outfits are kind of,
Yeah, she stopped wearing her Laura Charles Hot Divx outfits
Right.
and has switched over to maybe this will get his attention.
And
Yeah.
all of Angela's outfits are also insane.
Yeah,
But in all the right 80s
Oh my
ways. Like,
God.
there's... When we get to the scene with her next song, we'll talk about it. But
Yeah. So, Shonuff has shown up at the family pizzeria.
shown up.
And, Leroy's dad is just like, "I'm Leroy Sr." and whatever his
Leroy
name is.
Green.
Yeah, and he's just like, "No, not you." And he's like, "Oh, you must mean my son."
Junior.
And they're like, "Junior. Ha, he's a
Yeah,
junior."
sure enough goes,
"Get it?"
Junior.
And then, so they just start fucking shit up.
Oh, man, there was a really good line, too, right before he...
There's so many good lines. It's impossible.
Yeah.
But
but there's some just incredibly good line right before he karate chops a table in half.
Yeah.
And Leroy Green Sr., it's just reaction shots from him and
Well,
Mama Green. And they're just like, what?
Leroy
What
Green-
is happening?
Senior is just like, everyone stay back, just let them do what they're going to do. The mother is just like, oh, hell no. And is frantically attempting
She's
to
throwing
throw
dow.
whatever she can throw. 'Cause,
She
like,
grabs
She hit one guy
huge
in
hunks
the
of
head.
pizza dough.
Dough.
Just belts
Yeah.
these
as
dudes.
as he smashes the salt shakers in his hands.
Yes.
But yeah, like,
He also
like-
picks up the little brother and throws him headfirst into a trash can.
yeah, because the little brother tells him to stop.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna kick your ass, and he's just like, come here, dunk. There's a pinball machine in there they do not touch.
Yeah.
However, they karate kick the fuck out of this video
jukebox. It is.
And the dad goes, "That's not even mine.
That's not even mine. What are you doing that for?
Yeah. But he's like, "You tell Leroy this is what's waiting for him."
And so they don't even go through the door. They kick the glass out of the front door and
Yeah.
just walk through it.
Shonuff throws, just hucks a chair
Yes.
out the door.
Yeah.
And he actually does open the door when they leave.
Yeah.
And then one of the henchmen looks back and fucking karate kicks the glass out of the remaining door.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then they go and get in the Shonuff van.
Yep.
That they all travel around in and listen to Shonuff rant about wanting to beat up Leroy. Just
I'm gonna beat up Leroy Green.
keep your eyes peeled
The
for
van.
Leroy. Yeah. So, meanwhile, Eddie is putting together a henchman squad of murderers, literally taking resumes from murderers to just take the place of the henchmen who are no longer with us anymore. So,
And to just take out Leroy. That's all he cares about. Like, he is, it's like, I don't know what happened if, like, some of Shonuff's glow passed to Eddie.
Right.
But Eddie's suddenly, like, just obsessed
Yeah.
with taking out Leroy.
yes.
Like, and that's the thing, too, is, like, Leroy comes to the pizza parlor just after everything happens. And they're all like, Leroy, this is all your fault.
Yeah, you weren't here, and look what happened. And he's like, I was doing other things. I'm not responsible for this.
Yeah.
And they're just like, you suck. And his little brother calls him a coward.
Yeah.
Because
he won't fight Shonuff,
Yeah.
which...
he goes back to the dojo, and
Yeah.
that's when he just beats the hell out of the training bags and everything. And just hearing his brother call him a coward over and over again in his head.
And
So-
that's when she tries to recruit him, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Because where he had been... Well, we can get to it later.
yeah.
We'll just cover it later.
Um,
We'll group it all together.
Okay. So Eddie's hiring murderers to work for him. Angela gets word of this, and she's like, why are you hiring these people? Why do you want him dead? That's not good. Like, what's
Yeah.
going on here? And he's like, I'm doing it for you. And she's like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I do not want that. And this is this when she's shooting her weird traffic cone
Yeah,
music
where
video?
she, well,
Yes.
where she's got headlights on her boobs.
Right. Yeah.
And like a weird spandexy outfit. I mean, it's the
It's
80s,
just
so
traffic patterns.
she's
and-
also got all sorts of traffic reflectors in
Yeah.
her hair.
Yeah.
And her hair is red, yellow, and green.
yeah, it's a high concept music
Her
video.
dancing
80s.
girls are wearing like sort of caution tape
Yeah.
styled shirts.
And they're paid in quarters to go to the arcade.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
hands
that
them-
was-
Because he sends the other girls down with
yeah.
to go play in the
Here's
arcade.
a bunch of quarters. Go have fun.
Yeah.
And they
But-
basically have a bad breakup after this.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Well,
just,
she's basically like, you don't even care about me. You
Yeah.
just want to make the videos.
yeah. You're using this to get your way. It's like you don't care about me having success, and I don't want it that way.
Yeah.
And she's basically, he's basically like, you failed cosmetologist or whatever, and you
Yeah,
get
well,
by
yeah,
on your
you're
tits.
dental hygienist. or something.
Dental hygienist school dropout.
Yeah, you get by on your tits, and she's just basically like, yeah, well, you're also from the neighborhood I'm from, and you get by on my tits, so I got class. I'll see you later. And she literally means she has class to go to. But that's it. They're broken up. Eddie still maintains his ridiculous vendetta of, you must play my music video.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I'm
he's
going to
just
kill
like-
Vanity and Leroy, and you're going to play my music video.
I think
which-
at that point he just wants control of her show.
Yeah, it's-
like that's what it's devolved into. It's gone from you're going to play this music video
Yeah.
to I'm just going to run the show regardless of what happens,
the most ridiculous.
and also kill Leroy,
right. Because he
And
came in
poorly.
here and busted my shit up and put my face in a piranha tank.
and also recruit like 85 insane movie goons.
Yeah. Local wrestlers.
Yeah.
But
So, yeah. And eventually he goes to recruit Shonuff to do this. And Shonuff's like, I don't even want the money.
yeah. Oh yeah, they
I
they
just
open
wanna-
up a comical briefcase of money.
He's like, I don't even
I
care.
don't even want it. And yeah.
Just tell me the time, the designated time, and the designated place, and I will designate Leroy for dismemberment.
Such an amazing quote.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're like, and he's like, "All right, Mr. Nuff, thanks." And Show Nuff gives him this look like, "Did you just say that, motherfucker?"
Mr. Nuff, Mr. Nuff.
But then he's just like, "It's not even worth beating the shit out of you."
Yeah.
And just walks away. He's like, "Just tell me the time and place."
Yeah. It's weird. The midsection of this movie is edited very haphazardly. Like I feel like scenes are out of order and there's some stuff ripped out that because it seems like they're hiring all these murderers who never do anything before he hires Shonuff. It's like, what were you hiring all those dudes for? Clearly, you're just going to jump straight to hiring Shonuff. So what was that scene for?
Yeah.
But I guess you needed that scene to have Angela
Shonuff
break
there.
up with him, and
Yeah.
so
But it's, yeah. And at this point, Leroy he's kind of had like this crisis of conscience or whatever because of everything that's happened. And he basically goes back to his master and is like,
well, because he has tried to go see the master, who is supposedly hidden behind the scenes at this fortune cookie warehouse.
yeah.
He tried to get in the first time.
And that's
Just-
when the Asian guys got all racial profiling
Yeah, they
on
were-
him. But they don't treat him like a black dude. They treat him like an Asian dude.
Yes. And they're just like, get out of here. The master's not going to see you. You're not worthy. Get out. So,
And they steal his hat, too.
yeah. Yeah.
They steal his funky giant hat.
So he's gone to the club with Vanity. Vanity has somehow edited together a film highlight reel of Bruce Lee, mixed together with a song that perfectly describes everything that he has explained to her
About getting the glow.
about getting the glow and being the master and reaching the final level. To which she did not run away screaming from this man. She was like, hold on, I have the perfect song and video for you
Yes.
to come watch.
I created this video before Avid machines existed.
I spliced
about that.
film together,
Yeah.
timed it to the music, and here now you will watch it. So as he's watching this and watching all the Bruce Lee clips, he sees a clip of Bruce Lee in one of the movies where he went undercover as some comical Jerry Lewis character to
Also,
get...
Chinese connection.
By the way, he is super jazzed to see Bruce Lee again.
Oh, yeah, he's just,
that's
Bruce Lee. It's like, of course it is. So, but he gets the idea, like, that's how I'll get in to see the master. I'll go in wearing a disguise. So he just puts on hat and some shades and goes to deliver a pizza to the fortune
like
cookie
a
place.
mesh shirt and
Yeah.
colored
Yeah.
pants. Like,
Yeah,
it's basically different than
Mid-'80s street tough outfit, and goes to the warehouse again and tells the dudes, it's like, oh, the master ordered this bean sprout pizza, let me in. And they're like, you're the guy from before, aren't you? And they take off his hat and glasses and go, yeah, you're the guy from before.
He's
and
like,
then,
no, I'm not.
I'm totally not. And then they're like, hey, teach us how to play craps.
No, okay, I want to point out, he goes, "No, I'm not. We all look the same."
Yes, he does. Yeah. To which the Asian guys are like, ha 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 ha. Anyway, it's just, yes. So,
Yeah. But meanwhile, while this happened, as soon as he left,
yeah.
his brother had seen him and
His
Vanity
brother
making out.
Yeah, his brother already hates him for being a coward, for not being at the pizzeria.
But
When,
now he hates him for getting the girl that apparently he had called.
yeah, he called her.
Yeah,
He put dibs.
he called shotgun on Vanity, this famous, gorgeous woman who's like, yeah, of course, I'll go out with an 11-year-old.
Right. Yeah, so he's mad at that as well.
But this is when Eddie shows up and he's like, ha, I'm evil.
I got
right?
you now.
Yeah.
This club is mine.
Yeah, and basically just
They take over the club.
they
Tie them up. And just start video.
yeah, because the
video
brother's
producing.
like, hey, I'm going to save you, Vanity, and
Yeah.
immediately is captured
Yeah.
because of course he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But meanwhile Leroy's trying to do the whole meet the master thing. And then
He has to teach them how to play craps, which the camera pans down, and he is teaching them how to play hopscotch, actually.
yeah, this is our version of craps.
Yeah, and they're into it.
And
they love it.
they're also high and drunk
Yes.
because they have offered him
They have offered him
booze
the weed
and the weed.
and he's like,
so
no.
there's our 420 connection.
Right. There it is.
Congratulations.
Yep. There's
Yeah.
synergy.
Blaze it.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So anyway, he eventually is just like, look at my medallion. I need to see the master. And they're all like, oh, wow, check out that medallion. That's a sweet medallion. Hey, okay, we'll take you to the master. Come this way. And they take him out the front door, and they say, stand right here. And then they take the medallion and walk back in, and you hear them lock the door
locked.
8 times, and
Yeah.
then they all just laugh. And he's like, what? And so they're inside laughing, and you see the door behind them as they're inside laughing, and then he just kicks the door open and just like
Destroys the door.
And they're immediately like, there's no master. We made it up. There's literally no master. It's a computer.
It's just a machine.
Yeah. So they go, and it's a computer. And so, yeah, he goes back to see his former master. And he's like, what the hell, man? Why did you tell me there was a master to go see? It's just a computer. And he's just poking him in the forehead like, you need to find the real master.
Look where you haven't looked already.
You got to look where you haven't looked yet.
And he
Idiot.
gives
Have
him
you
an
never
empty
seen-
fortune cookie, and he goes, inside is everything you seek.
Yeah.
And he opens it up. He's like, there's nothing in here.
It's like, exactly.
Yep.
Like, get out of here.
Yeah. He's like, if you'll excuse me, I have a plane to catch.
Right.
And he's like, oh, are you going on a journey, master? He's like, I'm going to visit my mom in Miami.
Oh, he's so pleased by that, too. But yeah, so
Somehow, what happens is Angela has gone to the dojo
Yes.
carrying her small suitcase of whatever the hell was left of her stuff.
right.
And I guess she was going to go live with Leroy?
Yeah,
I don't know.
it seems like it, but
But also I think she was warning him.
Yeah.
Because Johnny U's there, and she goes, I'm looking for Leroy. And somehow he goes, well, would a half Asian do?
Yeah.
Would you settle for a medium Oriental?
Yeah,
is what it
medium
says.
Oriental. And she goes, no thanks, I'm Jewish. Or I'm not Jewish. That's what she said. She goes, no, I'm not Jewish. And just moves right on from
Yeah.
that. And I was like, wait, whoa.
yeah, all of them were
Did I just hear that right?
they're all just like, yeah, okay, anyway.
Yeah.
Is that just a weird quip, or is there something I'm missing?
This was a time in America where there was no racism, and you could just say whatever your race was, and everything.
There were a lot of
but,
Jewish
like,
women married to Oriental men.
Was that a thing?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Around, at least in New York, New Jersey, was a thing that.
Okay,
I have learned a thing.
Yep.
a sly
It,
joke.
it was kind of a
sly social
it was kind
commentary.
of a stereotype thing. that-
Okay, all right.
I have learned.
Yep. But anyway, she basically warns him that, hey, they're going, like, don't go by Seventh Heaven. Don't go by the club because it's bad news.
Yeah.
And that's when, Leroy comes back and Johnny's told, she said not to go there.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'm going.
Yeah, it's like,
And so
fuck this.
he's like gearing up with ninja stars and everything. He's like, oh, well, we need to, you're going to need weapons if you're going to go with me,
Yeah.
Johnny. And he's like,
He's like,
okay, yeah.
yeah.
So he immediately locks him in the,
He walks full on into the weapons closet.
yep. And he gets locked in.
Yeah. Yep.
But now from here, Leroy goes to the club because
does,
he's like,
yeah.
and he's sneaking in because he knows. However,
Yeah.
Eddie has made himself his own music video
Yes, he has.
because editing music videos was super easy back in early
You
1985.
just need some equipment
Yep.
and a nightclub.
Yep. But but he's also spotted Leroy on the video camera. So
Right.
Leroy sneaks in
He's watching Leroy sneak in.
Yeah.
And it's just like, there he is. He's sneaking in.
and he lets him get to the middle before just his giant face is on the screen going, Leroy,
Camera zooming in and
Yep.
out.
now it's time.
Yep.
And he's like, he doesn't really have any justification for any of this, but he's
No.
just like, now it's entertainment time. And you see guys creeping around in the shadows, kind of like rim lighting on some of them.
Yeah.
And then finally he's like, all right, let's just do this. And he lights up the floor, and it's the disco floor.
Yep. Turns on all the laser lights and everything.
And it's just fight time.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like,
This is a badass arena for a fight.
it is.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's really good.
So Mike Starr is also up in the booth with him, and he's just like, I'm going to shoot. Let's end this. And he pulls out his gun. He's like, let's do this. And Eddie's like, no, that's not sporting.
Yeah.
We got to. I hired all these murderers to take care of this. Let's watch what happens. So he makes him
I
give
paid
him
good money for
yeah.
this.
He
Well,
makes
yeah,
him
well-
give him his gun. So
Yeah.
now Eddie has a gun.
Yeah, because, Eddie does, like, he comments on how much entertainment he's getting out of all this.
Yes.
Multiple times throughout
Yes.
the end of the movie.
It's like, you can't beat this. Nothing on cable. Nothing. No music. No theater. Nothing tops this. Look at this. Is so awesome.
Yeah, and he's like beating dudes down with nunchucks and stuff, but then one big dude grabs the nunchucks and just bites them and breaks them.
Yep.
And that's when he's like, oh shit. And
There's like
he gets knocked down.
Yeah.
And then there's a dude just hitting him with a chain and kicking him.
Yep.
And that's when, because in a scene that had happened earlier,
Yes.
one of the younger students,
Eddie Reyes Jr. has shown up
Yes.
and introduced himself to this movie.
saved Johnny from the cabinet.
Yeah.
From the weapons closet.
Yes.
And
the entire dojo. Is
Brought the
showing up.
entire dojo because they bust in as he's on the ground getting kicked.
Yeah.
And then just
Full on Donnybrook.
brouhaha.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
just madness.
It is.
And this little kid is fucking badass.
Yes, he is. He absolutely
He's like
is.
Sho Kasugi's son in
Revenge of the Ninja.
Revenge of the Ninja, where
Yeah.
you're just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, this kid is good.
Yep. His dad's a stunt coordinator. Eddie Reyes, I think he was one of the Ninja Turtles, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
so,
Ernie.
yeah.
That's knowledge I don't have off
Ernie.
the top of my head.
What am I saying?
Eddie. It's Ernie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ernie Reyes.
Respect Mr. Reyes Jr.
Yes.
Pardon.
Either way.
Pardonnez-moi.
Either way, he works over some dudes.
Yeah.
Johnny somehow realizes that he's actually learned something in the fighting and takes out a bunch of dudes.
Yeah,
And,
he's suddenly
and,
fucking
knows how to
badass.
use fucking nunchucks
Yeah.
like a boss.
Yeah. And there are about 4 instances during all this fighting where people just thank someone else across camera, like on the other side of the room, with a giant thumbs up.
Oh yeah,
It's just constantly happening.
it is
Because where we
good.
were like, that's the screen grab. No, that's the screen. No, that one. So, yeah, they are all fighting like mad. And eventually Eddie's like, come on, Vanity, we're going down to the
Yeah.
bowels of the building.
Yeah, Eddie, Mike Starr, and Vanity, they go, they're leaving, and Eddie's like, yeah, good luck with all that, Leroy.
Yeah.
And so Leroy's like, well, shit.
Yeah.
And so he leaves the fight to go chase after him. Meanwhile, the brother, I appreciate that he gets out of his ropes by dancing out of them.
At first I wondered what the hell he was doing.
Yeah, he was getting
'Cause
out of the ropes by dancing.
It just
in
seemed
them.
like a kid standing in the back of a shot, not really paying attention to what he was supposed to be doing. But yeah, he dances his way out of the ropes that have tied him up, and then he's like, I'm free. So, but he doesn't really contribute much to the rest of this. He's just
he's in peril.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as Leroy goes across the street, and he has to climb up into the warehouse.
Yeah, because Eddie is just up in a window, just fucking taunting him at this, but just like,
Yeah.
I got your girl, and she's gonna play my music video. It's just like, what?
Nobody
Dude,
cares, guy.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Also, okay, so this is very strange that this happens during all the fighting. Is that Eddie hits one of the buttons, and another music video starts playing, and it's Angela, but it's a normal ass music video because Eddie's like, what the hell? Who the hell is this? And
Was it Angela?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then the bodyguard's like, it's Angela. And he's like, why didn't we have this video? This is a good video. And it's like, also, when did Angela do this video? And why is it
Yeah.
normal? And why is all her other stuff super fucking weird? But it seemed like another instance just to cram a music video in here.
I'm sort of assuming, like, my headcanon on this is that the crazy shit was what Eddie wanted her to do.
Yeah.
Like, this is how we're going to make you a star, babe. We're going to make you do all the crazy things,
Yeah.
stoplights and stuff. And she actually had some talent and wanted to do this.
Okay. Well, the
And-
chat's saying it's not Angela, so
Oh, it's not Angela?
I thought that's what they said. But whatever. It's just another chance to throw a music video into the movie. Whatever. Sorry. So anyway, yeah, they're across the street in another warehouse, basically, because Eddie's gone nuts and is shouting at them. And
Might as well be a
And-
foundry.
And the kid sneaks into the warehouse as well, the brother, because he's going to save Vanity. And
Absolutely.
like, still thinks that he's going to get that date with Vanity.
yes, which no,
No,
kid,
no.
you're not.
Sorry, you're a
absolutely
child.
Not. Yeah,
Doesn't work that way.
Leroy eventually has to lock him into a
Well,
cage.
Well,
basically.
after saving him.
Yeah.
Because there's a point where like he gets his like a throwing. They're like throwing pencils. You know, they're like whatever those little
Yeah.
darts are, and he chucks one at this box that nails right next to Eddie's head, and he's like, "My next throw will not miss."
right, and then Eddie just fires his gun.
And he's like, "My next
Wildly.
shot won't miss."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and takes off. But then, as this happens, is when Mike Starr gets the kid. So Leroy's like, "Oh, damn it!" So he has to go save him. So he saves the kid, and then the kid basically gets chucked into a fire extinguisher, which kind of,
Oh God,
gives
yes.
him a good
Oh, that
concussion.
sound is so bad.
He gets picked up and thrown
Good.
into that bin or whatever, and just gong. It's like that child is dead.
Yeah,
Like you should not move his neck when you go over to him because he has died.
yeah. But so Leroy just beats the hell out of this guy.
Yeah, and then just goes right over to him, scoops him up, just and he's like,
He's like, "Are you all right, man?"
"Yeah, I'm
He's like,
here." What?
I had him.
Yeah.
I didn't need your help. And that's when he locks him behind like a chain link fence or something.
Yeah.
He's like, "No, you need to stay here. You need to not do this."
Yep. And then our hero has shown up.
Yep.
Shonuff has arrived.
Yep.
Steps out of an elevator, and is just like, finally, we're going to fight now. I have been waiting my entire life for this.
I have not slept. I have not eaten.
Yeah.
I have not done anything.
And also, guess what? I've got the evil glow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that comes a little bit later.
A little bit later, but it's...
Because they're kind of fighting back and forth, and basically Leroy gets the jump on him by swinging from a chain and kicking him through a door onto like a lower platform in another room.
Yeah.
And he's like, and Shonuff does kind of like the,
yeah,
you know, like the kind of twitch one last time and then collapse thing. And so Leroy starts walking away, and then he's like, Leroy!
and he whips around, and he's not there. And he's
gone.
like, what? But yeah, that was what he needed to get the evil glow, the evil red glow, because he just reemerges and starts beating the hell out of Leroy.
Yeah,
with fists of red fury.
Yeah,
and just dumb 80s lightning effects and explosions.
I like it.
Yeah, it's
every hit. It's almost like the dust cloud that they normally do in martial arts movies.
Yeah.
It's like instead it's all like rotoscope, whatever the hell,
it's just hand-drawn bullshit.
animation on there.
Yeah,
it's pretty great though.
Yeah, Leroy's getting his ass handed to him.
Yeah, and he's basically dunking him in the water, being like, "Who's the master?
Say my name.
Say who the master is.
Say my name." And he's just dunking him in over and over again. And as he's getting dunked, he just starts flashing back to everything the master told him.
Well, every time he gets dunked, he gets a flashback.
Yeah.
So he gets dunked, flashback, dunk, flashback, dunk, flashback, and realization. Of,
the realization is basically look within yourself.
Yeah.
You were
the master has been inside you the whole time.
Yeah. So, like, he pulls him out the last time. He's like, "Who's the master?" He's like, "It's me."
Yep. And then he gets the glow.
It was me.
And he gets like the gold glow.
He does. He gets the gold glow. And Shonuff's
It's the
glow,
full body glow.
Yeah.
Because they've actually talked about, like, some people who reach near the final level can get, like, the glow of the hands, and that's what Shonuff has.
Yeah.
But those who are truly a master will get the full body glow.
Yeah, you have
and
to-
he fucking glows full body.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Eddie's been watching this from like up in the rafters with Vanity with him, being like, "Oh man,
It's like, this is the best show ever.
Yeah.
I'm going down there to get a front row seat.
Yep.
So, Shonuff's glow is starting to short out. Like, he still has it a little bit, but it's phasing in and out, and then eventually it's gone.
which actually does make sounds.
It does.
as it's
absolutely,
going out.
Yeah. And Leroy just starts doing the Bruce Lee thing we saw in the clip earlier, where it's like they've taken frames out to make it slow mo, but it's because he's moving so fast. It's just, oh my god, it's going so fast. Yeah, and then just Leroy murders Shonuff pretty much, and then eventually kicks him into the tank of water.
And pulls him out.
Well,
He
yeah.
doesn't want to kill him.
Well, he looks over and is just like, "Come on, man!" Just walks over and pulls him out and just drapes him over the side. Like, there you go.
yeah. And Eddie's like, "Duh, this isn't how it turned out. But
Yeah.
it was entertaining. But
Yeah.
it's all over now."
Right, I got
And
the gun. See,
Yep.
so
And we will note, when Shonuff first met Leroy,
Yeah.
he said there were legends about him catching a bullet with his teeth,
Right.
and it's all bullshit.
yeah, which is weird. It just feels like the start of that movie was us being dropped in 3/4 of the way through a like much longer
Yeah.
epic film.
We didn't even realize it was Chekhov's smack talk.
Yes.
Because Eddie shoots at Leroy. Leroy goes down.
Yep.
Vanity screams.
And Eddie's like,
Eddie walks over.
Eddie's like
kicks
Biff
the
at the
body
end of Back to
over.
the Future 3, just like,
Yeah.
Look at me, how great I am.
yeah.
Yep. Walks over, kicks the body over,
Eddie just is like,
and Leroy
Leroy's like,
smiles.
yeah.
And he's got the bullet between his teeth glowing.
yep,
And he's like, "Oh my god, what? No, hell no."
yep,
And then he gets chained up, and Leroy basically pulls the chain and hoists him up into the air.
just hanging gently off the ground.
Meanwhile, his younger brother has untied Vanity.
Yeah.
And at this time is when all the video producer people come in and go, "Where have you been? We don't have time to do your hair. What were you doing, Vanity?"
You got to be on in 5 minutes. Blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
and she
just
didn't
like they
say-
were doing back, you know.
She didn't say,
hour
"Motherfucker, I
ago.
got kidnapped."
I got kidnapped by a man with a gun. Yeah, because the cops also come in. The cops are immediately like, "Okay, let's get Eddie. Eddie's clearly the villain here," and it's just like, "What? How? Like, what? Who told you what? And how did you come to this
And
conclusion?"
also, Eddie is trying to tell them, "We were both, me and Mr. Nuff were assaulted by this young man."
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Nuff and I are the true victims here. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, they
Find people on both sides of this story.
yeah, but they go back to the Seventh Heaven Theater, and suddenly everyone is dressed in white, and it's just. I don't know if this is part of the nightly Netflix show or if it is
Divx After Dark.
or this is just a private party, but
This is the dance competition.
is it?
Yeah, it says dance competition.
Does it? All right. Yeah, so everyone's dancing. And then like
I think.
Leroy shows up in the middle of it and is just kind of shouting up to like mouthing up to Vanity up in the booth, like saying things, and then it's just like record scratch and silence.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you said you were gonna teach me the moves, and then everyone laughs at him. And Vanity,
He's wearing this new outfit.
Yeah.
It's like all white with gold trim and embroidery, and then he's got flowers.
and she starts running down the stairs of the booth and freeze frame.
Someone,
Credits.
someone calls him a clown.
And the brother goes, "That clown's my brother."
He's not a clown. He's my brother.
Right.
Which is another callback to a
Yeah.
Yep.
But then for the rest of this, it's just credits interspersed with brief glimpses of them trying to get closer to one another, and eventually just kind of.
And a lot of songs just hastily thrown together without any sort of transition between them or anything.
It's just here's the
It was
greatest
like,
hits
here's the
montage.
soundtrack.
Yeah, buy it in the lobby, please. Motown depends on you.
I would have bought this walking out of the theater
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
If you had handed me like a record as I walked out of the BMFcast theater, I would have bought that too. Yeah. Or a tape. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, The Last Dragon is over.
Yeah. It gets a Stargrove.
It gets like
1,000%.
12 star
Yeah.
grows.
More
Every
it should be like Last Dragons. It shouldn't even be Stargroves
Right.
anymore because
Every
it should be
song,
glows.
Bruce Leroy's.
every song is a goddamn Stargrove. It's just like each song that plays is telling you exactly what the movie's about. It's just done by a different artist.
Yep.
It's like they covered one song 5 different ways. But yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess we rate it now.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
does anybody get an ensign? Does
No.
Eddie? No,
No.
he doesn't.
Eddie's
really
real
freak
good.
out.
Eddie gets real freaked out and escalates his. I mean, you know, when it boils down to the fact that he's still trying to get his music video played at the end of this thing, it's so dumb. But he doesn't freak out enough.
Yeah.
He has that brief freak out when his head's about to go into the piranha tank, but it's just
does.
like, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if this movie had just had Shonuff in it and the rest had been utter fucking garbage, I probably still would have given it 3 jocks just for Shonuff existing in it with like shoulder pads upon shoulder pads and just
Fucking outfit.
wild hair and just looking absolutely amazing.
We didn't even talk about his hair. It was like 5 cornrows and then sloppy fro out to the sides.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
He gets called like a low rent Rick James at one point. I mean, it's
Yeah. Oh, and he does not.
he's not happy
with
with
that.
No,
one.
it's one of those cameras zoom in on the face, like, what the fuck did you say to me?
They say
Yeah.
call him a dollar store
Well,
Rick James
maybe
or
that's
something
what
like
it
that.
is,
yeah. And he's also really tall too.
Oh, that
Yes.
dude's
Yeah.
gigantic. Yeah,
Yeah. But he's like wiry.
he is. He's
just
wiry and tall.
He's absolutely awesome. But
and he
so
wears
that's the
shoulder
thing.
pads with shoulder pads on them.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if this movie had sucked, I still probably would have given it 3 jocks just for his existence in it.
Yeah.
But then you add Eddie on top of that, and then you add everything else that this movie's fucking hilarious. Everything about it is good.
Yeah.
And it's 5 jocks.
Yeah.
I cannot even consider any other number.
I want to bring up one thing, which is Shonuff's fucking belt.
Yeah.
That it is
Go on.
like it looks like a wrestling belt.
It does.
But it's not because it is leopard print and the front of it is just shaped like a tiger head or whatever. It's a little touch. Little touches about this movie are what I think makes it fucking awesome. Shonuff wears the same pair of sunglasses, which are like the window blind sunglasses
yes.
with a little fucking Japanese flag on the bridge.
Yes. And he's dramatically taking them off.
Dramatically
and putting
takes
them
them
on.
off and tucks them
Yeah.
into his belt.
Yes.
Every time. Every time something sort of interesting comes up in this movie, it pays off. I don't think there was anything that was brought up that was even remotely out of place because everything paid off. Every time they set something up, it paid off later. They even paid off stuff that you didn't notice were set up. This movie is funny as shit. It's got a bunch of tiny little touches that are just magnificent. It's shot pretty well. Shonuff is the greatest character in the history of cinema. Leroy's like childlike innocence is wonderful, and apparently they had Billy Blanks come in to audition for it, and thank fuck we didn't get Billy Blanks, because this was perfect.
Yeah.
So much about this movie I fucking loved, and I don't think there's anything that I really disliked. So it's absolutely a Five Jocks movie. There's no other. I was skeptical in the first like 30 minutes. I'm like, I don't know. Not because it was bad, just because
It wasn't
I was
going
like,
to maintain
well,
or come together.
I was wondering, A, is it going to hold up? Like, is it going to keep up? B, am I predisposed to liking this because I really want to like it for Harlow's sake, because it's like his favorite? I was not sure where my headspace was at, but by minute 35 or something, I was fucking all in, and it's it's so good.
It is.
It's fantastic.
So I will say this feels like what Canon wished they could have done in the mid 80s.
100%.
This when you watch this is what your head thinks a Canon movie is. And like we watch Breakin', we watch Breakin' 2, those movies don't pay off the way that The Last Dragon does. The Last Dragon has all the insanity in it, all just the crazy nutty bullshit, mixing genres and doing all like here's music videos and now we're going to get this artist in here and do this, and it's like it all works. Whereas the Canon movies were just like, well, that part was okay, and but everything about The Last Dragon works. It just absolutely works. And I am giving it 5 jocks. I'm going to make this statement. I think this is the best thing I've ever seen us do on this show.
Wow.
If I could give this 6 jocks because of that, I would. This is my favorite BMFcast movie by far. If someone were to ask us, what do we do here? We watch The Last Dragon. The Last Dragon is a BMFcast movie, start to finish. This is everything we want in a movie. It just is.
Yeah.
It's got the 80s vibe to it. It's got the soundtrack. It's got people in it that we know and love. It's got martial arts that don't suck. It's got things that pay off. It's got cool shit. It's got embarrassing kind of goofy shit. Everything about it is a good, bad movie. And it's the best good, bad movie we've ever done.
It is amazing how not you, Chuck, but you, the royal us, the royal jelly, there are some things that are kind of bad about this movie.
Yeah, like I said, in the middle, the editing gets real haphazard, and it's like, this is a mishmash of things.
It's not bad.
It's forgivable.
Like, and it's weird because I feel like this is almost a actually really good movie.
Almost. But this is the kind of movie that Joe Citizen would sit down to watch and go, this is fucking stupid.
Right.
And just dismiss it. But
this is almost, with the exception of explosions and, huge amounts of gunfire, this is everything we want. This is quite possibly the best blaxploitation movie we've watched.
It's...
I
would have to think about that qualification for it.
In some ways, it's just not a blaxploitation movie.
No.
If this was a blaxploitation movie, it would be absolutely, it would be way up there. It might not be Slaughter. I don't know. I'm conflicted about that because the thought literally just leapt into my head. But it's
But like, okay,
you could call it a blaxploitation movie, and it would be a really good one. I will say that.
Is this Harlem? Is it Brooklyn? Where does he?
Harlem.
Is it Harlem? Okay,
because he's the Shogun of Harlem.
That's right. Yep. Okay, so I appreciate how this movie just takes this mid-'80s Harlem universe and makes it believable that it is this weird mishmash of black and Asian characters, and they all know kung fu, and they're all moderately good at it, and no one questions it. It's just part of everyday life in mid-'80s New York. That's insane. That usually hasn't carried over from other movies like that. You just don't get a slice of life. Here's what life is like in this section of New York, but it's all crazy kung fu shit. I mean, and the biggest gang in the world in this city is a kung fu gang.
It's 7 people.
Yeah,
like it's a 7-person kung fu gang.
Yeah, I just think, man, it just nails it. It's so good, and I can't believe I've never seen a frame of it until now.
Yeah, me either.
I
don't know how I haven't watched it up until now.
I mean, as a kid, I remember it being in the theater, but I've never seen a second of it. It's so strange, and I hate myself for not having seen it until now. So,
but you didn't have any nostalgia to worry about. You got to experience it purely as an experienced adult.
yeah.
And
I loved it like a child.
There you go.
So
we need to stop talking
what
about
even
it.
pays off about this is Harlow's expectations. Like, Harlow's love of this
Sure.
movie paid off.
It did.
And that is something, it's only happened a couple times.
He was right. This is the one rare instance where he was right.
Aw.
So, on that note, let's take a break, shall we?
Yeah, let's take a break. Man.
Can't be a long break because we only got like 20 minutes now.
I know.
I did not expect us to talk for an hour and a half about that.
I kind of thought we would. It's a dense movie. It is. There's not a. I mean, aside from like when they show the music video, there's not a lot you can just kind of skip past and not talk about because like every scene has something. You know, if Shonuff isn't in a scene, people are talking about Shonuff. Yep. You know, he's lurking around somewhere in the
looking for Leroy.
Yeah. God. I want to go to a Comic-Con and see someone dressed as Shonuff just looking for Leroy, just barging into every meeting. Good times. Do you want to skip correspondence and just do our movie plow through?
Yeah.
Okay. Mine are... I can rapid fire through mine.
We have a bunch of correspondence, don't we?
And
Didn't we get like...
we have like 3
one was
voicemails.
No Quarters related, and one was No Pretense of Cool related.
Oh,
No
right.
what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that defunct show.
Yep.
Thanks for the hot, timely comments.
Hula, you're the second person to recommend that I be shown up for Halloween, and there's absolutely no way that I'm going to step into that landmine of problematic.
Yeah.
It should be Eddie.
Yeah, I am already thinning on top.
It was weird, that one scene where Eddie had hair.
Oh, he was absolutely wearing a toupee.
Yeah,
you know, he was dressed up and he was putting a toupee to go on and be impressive.
Well, he
Yeah,
went
he
to
had
go
to
get...
impress
he
Shonuff.
was going to hire Shonuff, so he put his best wig on.
It's like it's like that. It's
enough.
like that hooker at the Truck Turner funeral. She
yeah.
put on her best rainbow wig
Exactly.
for the funeral.
Exactly. You got to wear the fine... You tease it out.
Man.
Oh.
Man.
Okay, I would watch a Terry Crews Last Dragon remake, yes.
Mm. He's lighting the lamp over there.
Did we mention to the live stream audience why Drop Mix is sitting on the table?
They can't see it. It's not in the camera.
Oh, they
shot.
can't see it? Okay. We have Drop Mix on the table. It is a tabletop plus phone card game thing by Harmonix and Mattel.
Mm-hmm.
And
Or
it is-
Hasbro.
Hasbro, yeah. And it is fucking awesome.
It is fucking. We'll say more on No Quarters, but it is black magic. It is alchemy. I don't know how it works as well as it does, but it is near flawless in the way it combines you just dropping new instruments and stuff into it.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
It's hard to explain. I think it would be nice to do a quick... We'll probably try to show it to you on No Quarters, like on the live stream or something, but it is sweet as hell.
Yeah.
Look it up. You can buy it on Amazon, and you have to buy card packs for it. You get cards with it, but you can
It comes
you
with
can
about
buy
60
card pack.
cards when you first buy it. I have already bought like 3 packs.
Yeah,
'cause-
and I would recommend buying card packs. I cannot believe that it works.
Yeah.
And that it also works really well. So look into getting you one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Or else.
there was a point where after messing with it for another hour at home, I declared it the coolest thing that's in my house right now.
It's the coolest thing that's in Harlow's house right now.
And yes, it is a piece of hardware with
Here,
a
I'll pick it up and show it to you.
yeah. What's the live view right now? Is it the wide one or
Yeah,
just
it's the wide
BJ's?
one.
The wide one, yeah. It's an electronic board. It hooks up via Bluetooth, so you need to have a smartphone or relevant mobile device or a tablet.
Something that'll run Stitcher.
Yeah, yeah. And there are games involved in it, but the freestyle mode is where it's at.
Absolutely.
I want
you can
to
just
play
fucking-
a game, but freestyle is really, really cool.
Yeah,
It's insane.
yeah. I got it for $50 on Amazon. I think it's 58 right now,
It
and
is.
it is worth it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
pretty badass.
Toys R
Yeah.
Us still wanted 75 on clearance.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Toys R Us's prices are fucked right now.
yeah,
Well, yeah, because they jack up everything to full retail.
and then
And
say
then take
like
the
25%
discount.
off.
Yeah. It's
Take
like
5% off of it.
every clearance place always does that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That place had not reached like when we went to Kmart when it was closing levels, where they're like, "Here, would you like to buy shelves?
Yeah.
These are the actual shelves from the walls."
Yeah.
I remember the Circuit City near my parents' house
Mm-hmm.
selling their shelving off, which is garbage ass Circuit City shelving, but people were still buying
You can buy
it.
the
Like,
registers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could print out 6 miles of tape for each single CD purchase.
Yep.
With their fucking POS system.
Yeah. All right, let's do a second half. Rapid fire, motion pictures.
right.
Let's do
Yep.
this. Yours are probably newer than mine, so just plow through yours and I'll plow through mine.
All right.
Ready?
I'm gonna wet my whistle.
No. Damn it. Fuck. Okay.
And you ruined it by saying something afterwards.
All right, welcome back.
Hey, BMFcast.
Second half,
Yeah.
rapid fire. Second half.
Here we go.
Half
Short
number
half.
Took a long time that first half, so
Last Dragon's so good, you guys.
yeah, cranking them out.
Okay.
What?
I went and saw Ready Player One.
That's a movie.
It is definitely a movie.
It is reference the movie, I've heard. I've also heard it is good, and I've heard it is trash.
Tell us, in your opinion, which it is.
It's one of those that's really, really hard to analyze because it's well executed, and on surface level, it's like, all right, yeah, it's an adventure and it's a movie and things happened and they were fun. But like when you look at it on a level of any critical analysis, and because it's Spielberg, you have to think that there's something more there that would make him go, I want to make this. Aside from just like, I want to try and jam all sorts of stuff from other, everything else in here. It's basically just like, to me, it reads like what would happen if, when the nostalgia bubble is about to burst. Because you can't keep remaking everything. You can't keep recycling everything. You can't keep doing this.
Right.
There has to be something new that comes in, or else you're just recycling the same shit over and over and over and over and over. And this is like the logical progression of that, where it's like there's all this bullshit that just doesn't mean anything anymore. And it's also kind of like the guy who is sets up the contest, where it's basically the crux of the movie, for people who don't know, is this guy, like everyone's in this virtual reality Second Life type world, and this guy has set up this contest in there that's basically, hey, if you find the 3 hidden keys and you defeat the last challenge, you inherit the company. Like you get the entire company. But the way you have to do that is to study my entire life and know all of the things that I loved. And, he's like the world's worst version of the parent that puts their little 3-year-old in like a Batman onesie and shit, where it's like, you have to like the things I like or you're
Right.
not my child.
Right.
It's basically that, where it's like, I love these things, so that makes them good, when that's not necessarily the case. So it's kind of, it's a really hard movie to review, but I also think like there's a lot of bullshit stuff in it as far as the way the movie plays out. And not having read the book, not knowing anything about the book, I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
But just the whole meeting the girl in there who's like, oh no, you won't like it if you meet me for real and all that stuff. And then it's like, absolutely gorgeous girl with a birthmark on her face. That's like barely a birthmark. It's like
A freckle.
no, but
I have an
it's just
unsightly freckle.
it's just like she's like, oh, I'm just the only accurate thing is like beautiful women are like, no, I'm ugly. Don't look at me. I'm hideous. You know, that sort of thing where it's
Right.
like, no, you're freaking gorgeous. Shut up.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
well, not shut up. Not being mean to him, but you know, it's like you just stop saying that.
Yeah.
Where and it's just kind of like, I don't know. It would have worked better for me if she had been just like a normal, totally average person instead of Olivia Cook, who's like younger Jessica Alba, basically.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, come on, you're freaking nuts.
Yeah. Average.
Yeah.
She's a 5.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So whatever, but it's just. It just feels like this ground zero for like, all right, we can't keep doing the nostalgia recycling thing anymore. You know, because if you keep referencing things, and that's, I guess, like the opening scene, the opening moments is basically just blank screen saying, you know, Ready Player One, Steven Spielberg, all that. And they start it with the synth from Van Halen, Jump. So that's like how this guy, and then they get into this guy introducing himself and all that stuff. And it's like, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like, you have this piece of music that all that piece of music says is 80s. Remember the 80s? It was 1984. Check this out. 80s. And that's all it does. There's no context that it gives in any way. And it's like, whereas if you play something like, and I can say Rush Tom Sawyer, even though it's not exactly 80s, but you would still hear that and think 80s, and they used it in the trailer as well.
Right.
But it's like Rush 2112, like somebody wears a t-shirt, there's a poster on it, like it's all over the place. So it's obviously like, oh, this guy fucking loved Rush, so everybody that loves this game loves Rush now. And it's like, if you play Tom Sawyer, at least it gives some context, like, okay, who's the song referencing? Is it about Halliday, the guy who created the game? Is it about Wade, our protagonist? You know, like, give your song some fucking context that's not just, hey, 80s.
Yeah.
And that's how this whole thing feels.
Maybe they were trying to say that you might as well jump.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm just saying, like, it.
I haven't seen it yet, but my main concern about this film is that I don't feel that Spielberg has the cultural wherewithal to make a movie about references to things that he created, if that makes sense. Like, it needed to be made by someone who was influenced by that, and I hate to say, like, make a Super 8 J.J. Abrams kind of comparison, but that's kind of what it needs. It needs someone who grew up on that stuff and it influenced their life, not someone who did it as a job and is kind of indifferent to its cultural impact. Now, I'm not saying Spielberg is completely withdrawn from the things that he's made and how it affected culture, but he doesn't have that frame of reference to how we feel about Spielberg movies.
Not as a consumer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not as something that he you know.
Artist is too close to the art.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we watched E.T. and Back to the Future and all these things dozens and dozens of times. Like,
And he moved on.
yeah,
He was done with them.
He edited E.T. together, came back to it when he had to put digital guns in, or, you know,
Yeah,
walkie-talkies, but, like, wasn't paying attention to it. It's just, I kind of feel like it needed someone who wasn't directly involved with that stuff to tell that story. And some of the things people have said about it makes me think that's not the case, and some of the things you're saying makes me think it is the case. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's just a movie that's well executed, and, like, if you're going plot point, and it also feels like that book adaptation, because it's like there's a scene where characters meet, and then the next scene is like, oh, hey, it's you, you know, and it's just like we miss that transition that made them friends type thing. So there's some of that stuff that happens there, but I just I still don't know, and like it's a movie you almost you want to say, you know, hey, just shut your brain off, don't think about it, you know, like Rampage or something. But even then, it's not satisfying on any of those sorts of levels. Like, Jen absolutely hated it.
Okay.
She was like, this is fucking terrible. Like, why did we watch this shit? And I think so much of like the...
Did she apologize to you? I know she does that sometimes, where she just leans over and goes, I'm so sorry.
She did that after the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, and it wasn't like she's one of those, I need to clap when I see the reference people or whatever. You know, like, she doesn't care about that, so I don't know if that mattered or not. But
Is that a South Park reference?
I don't know what it's
The
from.
clap when I see the thing I like.
I don't know.
That has happened to me in theaters all my life. I've noticed people do that for references.
Okay. People keep referring to that as like,
I think
it's a reference to something.
It's a smarmy way of feeling better than other people.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
By saying, oh, look at these rubes clapping at the thing they like, you know, whatever. But it just wasn't satisfying to me in pretty much anyway. And so we got home, and Jen was like, "We need to watch a movie that I might like." So I was like, "So we got around. We watched Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them."
Okay.
And man, through the first hour, I was like, "Oh man, we've had a rough fucking day. This is not good at all." The first hour, Eddie Redmayne is just like the opposite of a charismatic protagonist. Is what Eddie Redmayne is in the first hour of that movie. He's a bumbling fucking idiot who is just, you just want to like, you're like, all you do is make things worse just by existing. And there's just like, there's so much stuff where you can tell he's kind of trying to do a David Tennant Doctor Who thing, but it's not working because he's not David Tennant.
Yep.
And so like when doing like, you know, like there's a part where he has to act out the part opposite like this giant rhinoceros elephant monster that he has to coax back into the thing, like into the suitcase that they're captured in. So he does like this whole mating dance thing, you know, like doing weird physical comedy. And it's like someone like David Tennant would sell that immediately.
Right.
Like you'd watch him and be like, oh yeah, that's charming. That's kind of funny. Whereas Eddie Redmayne does it and you're like, the fuck are you doing, you dumbass weird mouth motherfucker? Get off the screen. And then something happens.
Yeah.
And the last like hour and 20 minutes of that movie is fucking fantastic. Like by the end of by the last 15 minutes, I was 120% in. And there's a side character that they have to like, the way they resolve his story. I was just like, oh my God, I care about this guy so fucking like so much, so much. Like I don't know how it happened that they just hit a point where it's like, all right, we actually need to do something because the pace of the first hour is just like, you know, like all the throwaway stuff that's in like the first Harry Potter where they're like, well, this was in the book, so it's got to be in here,
right?
You know, just all the random, just like
stuff you knew is never going to come up,
magical bullshit.
Yeah,
you know, and it's like there's so much of that in the first hour, and it's just like, is there a plot? Does this movie have an actual plot? And then finally they're like, yeah, we got a plot. And you're like, okay, this is actually really good.
Thanks for getting
like
to
this
it.
is wizards doing wizard shit, and it's cool.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like how when you finally got to Order of the Phoenix, and you're like, all right, wizards doing wizard shit.
Finally.
Yes.
Yes.
Do this. Keep doing the wizard shit.
Thank you.
And that's kind of what the second half of this movie ends up being. And yeah, and with characters that I actually truly gave a shit about. Aside from Eddie Redmayne, who I was just like, man, it's a shame. Yeah, well, it's a shame you're the lead character of all this because you are just not doing anything for me. You're doing less than anything for me. I love everyone else around you so much, and you just need to leave. So yeah, that's another weird one to rate because it's like a 2-star movie for the first hour that somehow morphs into like this 5-star movie.
That is weird.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. It's a whole hour.
Yeah, but it's also one of those movies like you just watch them do stuff, and it's like, how did you make this movie?
Yeah.
Like, how did you combine these live people in these CG shots and like with the movements and just like there's just so much stuff that it's like I don't like. There's certain times where I'm just like, I want to make a movie, but I wouldn't want to make this movie. This movie would be a pain in the ass to make.
Yeah.
And you know, everyone seems to be able to do it, and you know, I mean, like David Yates. This is what like the Harry Potter
he's
movies.
Got it down.
Yeah, so
that's all he thinks about.
He's all set there.
Okay.
But I mean, like, if you can power through that first hour, that movie gets really good. And I was shocked.
Okay.
But I actually really enjoyed it by the end.
Okay. So I was going to do these in different order, but since you said something that made me think about this, I'll start with this movie first. Murder on the Orient Express, the Kenneth Branagh version. If you are longing for a long-style David Tennant Doctor Who episode, watch Murder on the Orient Express.
Okay.
It's very entertaining in that similar kind of way. Kenneth Branagh is playing a weirdo, like an entertaining weirdo who's constantly commenting. He's being curmudgeonly and also entertaining about it in a way. It's almost a shame that a murder mystery forces its way into this movie because I would have just watched a movie about this dude on a train being bothered by all these other people who are getting in the way of him on vacation or whatever it is he's doing. That's a story I've never liked. I'm not a fan of Agatha Christie. I think the style of a lot of that stuff is gimmicky. But since I already knew the resolution of this story, it was interesting to just watch it unfold and to kind of see what changes they made to the story. So it's a good movie, and we don't nearly have enough Kenneth Branagh on film. Like he's a treasure. I enjoy Kenneth Branagh. So, and there's a lot of people in that movie. It's a fucking loaded movie. Daisy Ridley and Judi Dench and Johnny Depp, unfortunately, but just a lot of people are in that. So watch that movie. I watched I, Tonya.
Yeah.
The critically acclaimed I, Tonya.
Yo, Tanya. For our Spanish speakers.
Tanya is the monster. Wait, no.
Right.
Never mind.
No,
okay, we got it right.
Yeah. Okay, so that movie bills itself as a dark comedy, I would say. It is real hard to get in a dark comedy frame of mind with as much domestic violence and child abuse that goes on in the first 30 minutes of that movie. Like, that movie was wanting us to kind of laugh at it, and I was like, no movie, fuck you. And that becomes very difficult to overcome. Like, I was angry for such a long time that once the movie kind of normalized and then just became about the dumbest fucking caper this is the fucking stupidest thing that has ever happened on this planet, and this planet is loaded with some stupid shit. No, seriously, when you watch this, you're just like,
it's pretty stupid.
This is the fucking stupidest. I cannot believe this actually happened. This movie should be an indictment against the 90s as to, like, the shit we cared about. Like, why these things permeated our society in the 90s, because there was just nothing fucking going on. And
we didn't have anything to complain about.
I know.
Except for, like,
the 90s
the
were
Gulf War.
Totally fine. And then, so we latched onto this fucking bullshit and made superstars out of all these fucking monsters, just terrible-ass people. In the end, you kind of feel bad for Tonya Harding. You feel a little bad, like, that human being was fucked from birth. Like, birth screwed that human being up, and everything that happened to her over time, I feel bad about, and I'm sorry that it ended up the way it did. But, man, fuck everyone in that movie. Just Jesus.
Why are you so upset that we made superstars out of figure skaters? Like,
no, I celebrate figure skaters. That's fine. I'm saying this weird fucking soap opera bullshit drama that unfolded when, she had nothing to do with Nancy Kerrigan getting her kneecap fucking broken by some two meatheads who overheard a thing. It's so fucking stupid. God!
Isn't this also supposedly like a pretty sympathetic look? I mean,
I would say towards her, yes.
From what I vaguely remember somebody. This is just me trying to reason things out real quick in my head. Like, I kind of remember people saying that it is a very Tonya Harding friendly, not just from like her childhood was shit, but this tells a very much Tonya Harding's version of the story version, as opposed to what is generally regarded as more true. Yeah. So, like, apparently this movie paints her as a lot less involved than she actually was.
It does, and then, of course, the weird thing is that when the movie, everyone was doing a press tour for the movie, she admitted that she knew ahead of time that it was going to happen, which contradicts pretty much the entire narrative of the movie. So, that's fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, I, Tonya is one of those movies, like, when it was over, I was like, you know what? That's a good motion picture. I will never watch it ever, ever again.
Yeah.
Ever. But I want to point out one fucking weird, surreal thing about it is that this movie doesn't take place in Georgia, but it's filmed in Georgia. It's filmed in Atlanta. And they go to a restaurant in this movie called the Golden Buddha. And I was like, holy shit, we pass that place. Harlow and I pass that place every summer when we're in Atlanta, because I always point at it and joke and say, we should just go eat at the fucking Golden Buddha. That looks like a real good place. And I was right. It's the exact place we pass every time. And for me to, like, watch a motion picture and go, I know where that is. And then, like... It was weird and surreal and real stupid, but anyway, that's a thing only Harlow and I can get. So, so then I watched Jumanji 2, or Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle.
Jumanji is what we call it.
Fine, whatever you want to call it. Also call that movie perfectly acceptable entertainment. That movie is almost better than it has any right to be, and I don't like the first Jumanji at all. I can't stand the first Jumanji in any way, shape, or form. This movie, thankfully, focuses on the jokes instead of the plot, because the plot is dumb. And it just focuses on these four avatars being these four kids, and they milk that for every possible joke it's worth, and it's great. So there's a bunch of CG bullshit in it.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of CG fun nonsense. It's fine. It's good. It's a good film. It's entertaining.
Everyone seems to be like, yeah, that's pretty good.
It's better than it has any right to be. any right to be.
It has made like $1 billion, hasn't it?
Yes, it did. I looked it up and was like, Jesus, like it made so much money.
It's good, and I hate to say it's going to be like Avatar. It's going to have like no cultural anything.
It doesn't really have anything in it that's you can point to and go, that's memorable, but it is an entertaining time, start to finish.
Okay.
And then the last movie, to loop it all the way back around to Spielberg, I watched The Post.
Yeah.
That's a movie.
That's an Oscar bait movie.
It's not even that.
Oh, really?
It feels like it should be, but there's nothing in it to bait Oscars with, and that's why it didn't get any. I think
Is it a movie about mail?
no, it's about the Washington Post.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And the crux of that movie is, will the Washington Post shut down in the 70s, never to be heard of again? And I was like, I don't think
spoiler
so. I don't think it will. I know the end of this movie. So, enjoy that.
There is a really good story that's surrounding the Pentagon Papers.
Correct.
Right? You're better off listening to, God, it wasn't Radiolab or This America. There was one of the NPR story shows did a really, really good quasi deep dive into how those got, because I had no idea how they got published. Like each newspaper sort of as one got shut down, they went to another and one to another.
Covers that.
That is the interesting story there.
It is.
Not the Washington Post potentially shutting down.
Yeah,
to me,
it's very matter of fact. I love a good journalism movie, like, and especially about newspapers. Like the Michael Keaton movie, The Paper, is so good. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
All the President's Men, even though it's archaic as fuck, I like it because it's just dudes analog trying to figure out facts and just talking to other dudes on the phone and just smoking all the time and just can we get to print, just like are we going to get it in today's paper? No, shit. But this is just kind of like, yeah, there's a bunch of people in this that I like. And really, like, every television show that we have enjoyed in the last 3 years, their cast is represented in this movie. It's insane. The fact that Bob Odenkirk and David Cross are both in this movie and share scenes together breaks my brain to see the two of them in a period piece Spielberg movie and keep waiting for some skit to break out, and it never does. It's like, but yeah, it's a Spielberg movie, and it's about newspapers, and Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep are in it, and it's a movie. When it was over, I was just like, huh, yeah, that's a movie. That's really all I can say about it.
Yeah.
It just does. There are no highs or lows in it. It's just, here's the story we're going to tell, and the story has ended. Thank you for coming.
So it's a parents' movie.
Yeah.
No real stakes for anything.
No. Nothing. It doesn't take a stand that's going to really
Doesn't
offend
challenge
anybody.
like Titanic.
Kind of.
Boring.
I mean,
we know the boat sinks.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. It's like that. So you can watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't.
I mean, it's the movie.
I'm a newspaper guy, and I will not watch that.
Yeah,
movie.
I mean, it's the movie he made while he was waiting for the effects of Ready Player One to be finished. So, like from script genesis to completed project was about 6 months, and it feels like it. It just feels very bullet pointy. It doesn't really have any nuance or, And that's a shame because,
So it's like the game you play on your phone while you're waiting for the game to
yeah,
load.
I mean, like
on your console.
I mean, like Zemeckis made Wag the Dog while he was waiting for Tom Hanks to lose all the weight for Castaway. Wag the Dog is a fantastic movie. This is just kind of like,
That wasn't Zemeckis, though.
Yeah,
Was it?
I thought so.
I don't think it was.
We're going to find out because we have the internet, which knows everything. Zemeckis. I just like that name, Zemeckis.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
Why don't you lick on my Zemeckis?
Whoa.
You idiot.
Barry Levinson.
Oh.
Sorry.
Barry Levinson
what am I thinking
Zemeckis.
of?
Just saving you some editing now.
What am I thinking of?
Zemeckis.
He did something while he was waiting for
Old Bobby Z.
for Castaway.
Back to the Future.
Anyway, that's what I saw. Those are the movies I saw. The end.
Well, you know what we usually do at the end.
What do we do at the end?
Contact information.
Yes,
so,
please do.
Here it is.
Robert Zemeckis directed Contact.
Every time I start to get on a roll with the contact information, somebody comes along and stabs me right in the figurative dick. Anyway, BMFcast.com. You will not find any dicks there. You can email us 4dicks at bmf@bmfcast.com, or you can call us dicks at 914-5JOCKS-BMF.
No. That's not it. Where was that?
904.
No.
5JOCKS.
No. 910.
910. God. I was too busy with the dick jokes. 910-5JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263. Go to the website, look at the buttons, click them. Join our Discord.
All those things.
Email us, I guess. Tweet at us.
Yeah, just do things.
We had some correspondence that we will get to next time because we ran too long talking about Shown Off, which is the best movie ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did. So, all right,
Let's get out of here.
Yeah,
Shall we?
okay. I'm Chuck.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ, and for Harlow, this is BMFcast out. We'll see you next time.
Motherfucker. What Lies Beneath was the movie Zemeckis made. And that movie fucking sucks, so fuck my point.
Sorry.
Oh.
I gotta get out of here. So, do you just want to text me and let me know when you're leaving tomorrow?
Yeah.
So I can meet you over here.
Ooh, what are you doing over here? Doing who you?
Yeah.
Doing a Harlow-less who you? Or are you going to have him Skype in?
He recorded some thoughts.
Okay. All right, Internet. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, all of the new folks who showed up. If you want to click that subscribe button and hit that bell, you will know when we go live for our regular weekly shenanigans. But,
Smash that like button.
yeah, elbow drop that follow button from space. BMF cats.
Later. See you tomorrow. Gotta go. Okay.
Bye, Mackie. But yes, please follow us, like, subscribe, rate, review.